All right. I think it's happening. Welcome. Ooh, getting notifications and all sorts. How unprofessional of me. How we all doing? Shit, buddy. Chat's going off already. Now today, I would like this, if you're okay with it, to be an experimental play around. I mean, most of the streams are, to be perfectly honest. But to be more of a, how would you say? I want to play around with Grecke and Clip Studio Paint. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And I also want to play around with actually drawing on the screen, because I've been doing it for the last, like, I don't know, a few days, and it's actually like sped up my process like crazy, actually drawing on the screen. So it doesn't really affect you guys, but I thought I'd mention it if I'm just looking down. So yeah, this is what we've got at the moment. So sorry, to do this, I've swapped all my regular stuff around the place. So this actually is what I've been working on, just playing around with Plain Jane, which is, I should really get the link out. I'll do it later on in the stream. But this is my character, if you're not familiar, for the OGs and the people that have been on the stream. She's going to be releasing soon. So this is part of like, this isn't the final cover, but this is going to be something that comes with the Plain Jane sculpt, which is very excited. So yeah, so it's just going to be like a little magazine comic kind of thing. So yeah, that's what's been going on with me for the since we've last talked. Let's just touch base with chat. Realm of Solo, welcome. Capri Sunny, great to have you. Yeah, go check out the Discord if you guys want to chat in the Discord while the link's in the description. Orkin, how we doing? Rachel, when did this elderly gentleman start to become, oh, the thumbnail, yeah. I'm going to give him a break this week, I reckon. Maybe come back to him next week. How you doing, Blissful? Rachel, Young, Twal, Avery, Moon, Soren. Subtitles. Hi Ben, your last live I asked you to make a video teaching how to make bodies, poses, and our own characters, and you said you're already working on it. Do you have a date in mind? I don't. I don't want to be flinging out dates and then breaking my promises. Erica, great to have you. This is your first one, welcome. Okay, Lisa, welcome. So at the moment I'm in Clip Studio Paint, and I've got fucking no clue what I'm doing in Clip Studio Paint. I've only had like a very short play around with it. Now, I do want to give a massive shout out to, he doesn't really need my shout out to be perfectly honest, but a massive shout out to Dave Raposa for sort of sparking this idea of trying out Grecke, trying out Clip Studio and that kind of thing. So his techniques and stuff, I'm not going to be showing what I've learnt, sort of, or explaining anything. I'm just going to be doing, just out of respect for him, you know. But if you do want to go check him out, it's Dave Raposa on his Patreon. It's super, super affordable, and he takes you through a whole workflow of like Grecke, Clip Studio, and Photoshop. So, but this is what sort of opened my eyes, because apparently the brush, or even what I've found, like the brush engines in Krita and Clip Studio are pretty awesome. And I want to get some more texture to my work as well, so. Dave Raposa, yeah, chat, Raposa. Go check him out. So yeah, so what I've been doing is actually flipping back and forth between Krita and Clip Studio. But I want to kind of do the stream and just sort of throw myself into these apps to play around. So I might try it, like just start off in Clip Studio. So you're gonna have to bear with me, just trying to muddle my way through. So I don't even know, so no, I wanted a little bit. I don't know, it doesn't even matter to be honest. 3,000, 3,000 minimum. All right. What's color? Yep. Okay. New thingamajig. Can we all see this? Yes. Fantastic. Thank you, Sassy Minan. Mixstar, welcome. Avery, appreciate you. Thank you so much. Okay. So what I'm going to be doing, I've got this car. I'll just throw it in chat. So this is the reference that I'm going to be starting off with, just for like a first little play around. What brush I'm going to use? Fuck no, I got no idea. Maybe just do like oil paint, just to have a play around. Now I did have some, I don't know if anyone else has had some issues with the brush size not doing anything for me. Like adjusting the brush size with the shortcuts that are apparently meant to be shortcuts, but they're not, they're just pains in the tucasses. Okay. So, or maybe I just do a warm up in Photoshop. Let's roll into it in bloody Photoshop. Not bloody Photoshop, like Photoshop's sick. To be perfectly honest, having all this technology at our fingertips, I think we get a little bit spoilt sometimes, because the amount of ingenuity that goes on in these programs is fucking unreal. Okay. Now my posture, see, this is the issue. This is why I don't usually do this, because my posture is going to be like, eh. So I'm just going to give myself a base here. And I might, yeah, I'm going to use a filter plugin just to get these, because this is the thing I'm going to, with the other ones, I'm going to miss this. Definitely. But we got to, I was looking at Krita the other day to create plugins. Krita does have plugins apparently, so that could be something to look into. Okay, sick. All right. I think, what do you reckon? We do 15 minutes on the clock. Refresh that, actually throw the timer up. Timer. Cool. All right, 15 minutes. Hill Happy, appreciate you. Gabe Santiago, I'm honestly not sure what language you're speaking, but if it's kind, I appreciate you. Okay. Oh, yeah. It's all over the place today. All right, let's get cracking. let's just get warmed up, then we can dive into a bit of Critter and a bit of Clip Studio, because there's a character that I want to play around with and sort of develop a little bit further, which I think will be fun. Okay, is everyone ready? I hope you are. Good luck. 15 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1. Bam, all right, we're starting. Let's go. So I'm looking at background here. I want to, so this is really just to get my eye in, you know? And I've been liking the idea of incorporating more vehicles and stuff into my work. Let's get some color into it. Where is this color going? House bit there, then the annoying thing is that I've lost the hue on here, so I'm kind of guessing at the moment. That's alright. What I lose in hue, I make up for in just being able to draw as is, you know. But it is fucking annoying. Maybe I just come up here and I use this to choose my colours. Is that work? Yep, that works. Cool. Alright, so I'm just gonna throw in a bit of a tree thing here. Doesn't need to be, go away. Doesn't need to be perfect. Then we got a bit of the, let's go back to HSB. HSB. There we go, that's what I know. And that's the thing, right? There's going to be a bit of a learning curve as I explore these different bits of software. But with the hope of increasing efficiency later on. I'm trying to push the colours. I'm really not looking to get super accurate. Whoa. There we go, the little triangle of the house bit there. So it's going to look like a freaking abstract thing to begin with, which is fine. Nothing wrong with a bit of abstract. But yeah, actually play it like using the tablet as a screen. I've honestly hadn't spent too much time doing that. But turns out it's pretty efficient. And I want to do more traditional stuff as well, so it mightn't be a bad idea to start getting my hand-eye coordinations cranking. What time is it? Up 11 minutes. Okay, so we've got a bit of a background here. I want to brighten that up just a smidge. No, too bright. Too bright again. Let's make that down. Thank you very much. Alright, let's start throwing in the car on a separate layer. Stony baloney. Sometimes some of your guys' names make me giggle. Now I do want to stylize this. I don't want to just go super like same with it. So maybe I'll just play with the shape a little bit here. Throwing in some shapes. Looking like a Cybertruck right now. So we need to just start thinking about some of these three-dimensional thingamabobs. Looks like a child's drawing it. It's okay. Relax. Talk to myself. It's going to be fine. People aren't going to judge you. It's a warm-up. We're doing it in 10 minutes. Okay. So this is the tricky part. I mean, the whole thing's a tricky part, to be honest, but just finding what to carve in, what to leave out. Good, just have a bit of a warm up. A little bit of something just to get the juices flowing, you know. Also squinting my eyes a little bit, so there is a surfboard on the top here, so we can do that. So this is really a good practice in letting go with the colors. Like, if close enough is good enough, and even if I'm not trying to be super accurate with it, with the colors in particular, I'm trying to experiment, play. Where can I push and pull, you know? Looking at some of these subtle little shapes. Now we do want to be careful with the placement of the tires, right? It's going to look weird to begin with, but the tires, everything I'm thinking about here, it's got 3 dimensions to it. It's sitting in a 3D space. Slowly getting there. I'll get back to chat momentarily. All right, we got 6 minutes. Let's observe. Sometimes these little things can just bring it to life, like the little cut lines on the panels of the car. Thing is with the lasso tool, you can kind of draw as well. go. Let's make this feel a little bit more accurate. So we've got that there, we've got this here. Go away. We can fix that up. So it's a little bit too inspirational for this time of the stream. Yeah, I need this coming like at the end of the stream when I'm losing steam. It's a bit much. Let's add in some shadow here. So now it's actually sitting on the ground, right? Just that tiny bit of shadow. And what I've actually, it might actually be a bad idea, is to bring this into, maybe not now, but what I could do in the future is bring this into Clip Studio and then play around, and even Critter. Because there is actually one really nice brush that comes with Critter that, again, Dave Raposa talked about. I'm not going to talk through his process, but there's one particular brush that was very nice. And I'm not usually like a brush fiend. I keep it pretty simple. But maybe I need to start exploring. Exploring different brushes, different techniques. Who bloody knows? Alright, let's do the bottom of the surfboard here. I do feel more like, I don't know, sounds a bit wanky, but like more connected to what I'm doing when I'm doing it on the screen. Maybe I'm just in the honeymoon period of trying it out. That could also be a factor as well. Okay. We got 2 minutes. What can I do in 2 minutes to make it up? Some of these darker accents just do that. See, I feel like what I was able to get just in this first pass, I couldn't get last time with the second, until like the second pass, if that makes sense. So just from like an efficiency standpoint, it's pretty cool.
We're automated and overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream.
What do we got? 45 seconds, 45 seconds. Zoom it in. Okay, that really isn't that much. But you gotta do 13, 12. zoom it out. Cool, don't hate it. Very impressionistic. Alright, let's catch up with chat. Oh, the music is too loud, is it? Let's have a look. How do I hold the phone? Aha. An issue. Audio. Is that better? I hope so. Cappuccino, welcome. Sassy Menan. Capri Sun. The way you trust the process so confidently is so cool. The only way I've been able to do that is by doing it time and time and time and time again. Thank you, Jilang. Ketchup and fries, very clever. Have I given Frank expressions yet? I've got something coming in the next video. I've got an idea for the next video. I don't want to give it away. Sassy Menan, why are you using the lasso tool? I find it to be pretty efficient for just flicking down blocks of color, you know. Rachel, other than the lasso tool, what are you using? I'm using the Filthy plugin, and that's it, which just autofills the lasso tools. Blissful, Frank definitely, he does need some expressions, I don't disagree with that. Julia, welcome. Chocolate milk guy. I've been drawing on and off for most of my life. So I'm 30 at the moment, as of this recording. Hunt's Hutch. How do you go about planning your YouTube shorts? There's a lot of editing. So do you draft it all out first? Oh, I could talk about this for fucking ever. Let's talk about that while maybe we go another pass at this to see if we can get a little bit more details in there. Choco Latte Smooch, kind of unrelated. You have a really relaxing voice when you're focused. Oh, fantastic. Oh, that's good. I'm glad. I'm glad it's not annoying. That was my biggest fear when doing this. It's like, this fucking Australian dickhead just talking shit. Not for me. So yeah. I appreciate it. So let's get focused again. 15 minutes on the clock. And let's see if we can add a bit of detail to this guy. And then I'll talk about how I do my YouTube shorts and reels. So it really does depend on the subject matter, right? What I'm... Is the timer going? Yep, timer's going, we're wasting time. So let me just reduce that audio for you because I saw a couple of comments about the audio. All right. So shorts. I find they're just like a normal video, but shorter, right? So I do have to plan them. Now I don't have to plan them. It depends on the type of content that I want to put out. If it's just sort of, actually no, I do plan them. I don't think I've done an off the cuff one before. So I have an idea, and oftentimes I'll get ideas from myself, like, oh, that was I'm thinking about like when I'm by myself and I'm just drawing here, I'll come to some realizations like, oh shit, yeah, that's a good little thing to remember for the future, you know. I'm like, okay, that's actually also a good thing for maybe a short or a reel. So I'll get the ideas down first. Then I'll start I'll just sketch out some ideas or how I want to explain the thing, or I oftentimes have an idea in my head already. Or it could be actually what I've been doing recently to save time but still keep the quality is some of these sessions on stream. I'll just download them and use them, so I don't have to sort of double create or give myself more work than I need to. But yeah, in the editing programs I use Premiere, I use After Effects, I use DaVinci Resolve, depending on what it calls for. And I just try and think about, okay, if I'm trying to explain something, I'm really trying to throw myself into the mindset of someone that has no idea about who I am, what the hell I'm talking about. Because most of the time that's who's going to be coming across my stuff. So really putting yourself in the shoes of a new person. And you got the stuff that you throw in there for the returning people, definitely. There's also like stuff that I would like to see myself out there. That's the biggest thing. It's like, what would be useful to me, like whether it was a few years ago or even yesterday. But I also want to do more processed stuff but alongside some of the more how-to-y kind of stuff. Because the way that I structure this, or the way that I want to exist on the internet, right? I want to be discovering stuff alongside you guys. I don't want to be this is how you do this and this is how you do that and blah, blah, blah. I want to be like, hey, check this thing out that I discovered while I'm doing this other thing that I'm really excited about. That feels more comfortable to me rather than being like, okay, now I've got to think about how to tell people how to render in this particular way. It's like, nah, this is what I'm interested in at the moment. This is what I'm working on. This is a very cool thing that I figured out along the way. I hope you enjoy it. That kind of thing. Very, like one of the people that I'm kind of looking up to content-wise is like Adam Savage. How he's always making cool shit. And even if it's stuff that you're not particularly interested in, he makes you interested in it. Because of like the enthusiasm and that kind of stuff. So I think that's something that I'm going for. Not being him, but like more so the vibe that I feel when I watch his stuff. That's kind of a goal. And that really wasn't a question that you asked, but you got me on a rant and a ramble. So that's the risk that you take when you ask me questions about content and businessy stuff. Because I love that stuff just as much as the painting side of things. I feel like a lot of people, this is just me, like a lot of people don't like it, which is unfortunate, you know, because if you can try and structure your social media strategies in a way where you really enjoy them just as much as the art that you're putting out. I mean, then you're laughing, you know? That's why with my YouTube videos, I take a while with them. Because it's something that I'm learning, it's something that I'm interested in. A bit of storytelling, editing, trying to keep interest throughout the video. Also having those sprinkles of little educational bits and pieces as well. Let's have a look. Maybe we go back to the background. Let's see if we can get some of these boards. Now, the cool thing with the Filthy plugin is that you can use the line tool. Alright, so you can bam. Bye-bye. Too much crazy variation with it. Yeah, just to clean up that edge, bam. Cool. Now I think we can add, so this is just black at the moment, so we can even get a little bit more blocky with our Now this is really fun to me, just like playing, you know. I'm trying to get it bang on to the freaking. This feels very gouache-esque, you know, which I plan to play around with more and more as I explore more traditional. We've almost got some little like vine things here as well in the background. Don't want to take away from the main. I told you, 5 minutes, I've been having it on for ages. My apologies. But that. Now, I would like to make this feel like it's being lit. Now, it could be a cool little challenge to just do everything with the line tool. There is an artist that I admire, Rob Ruffle, I believe. That's how you pronounce his name. Absolutely amazing artist, and he does this sort of more graphical kind of work. Huge inspiration. Although you might not see it in my work yet. Like, yeah, he's just awesome. Connect some of these shapes together. could do, I think. Yeah, brighten that background up just a smidge. And then we can come here, increase the value, and add a little bit of that dappled light going on. Just a little bit, not to overpower anything, you know. And then we can come in here, increase the value just ever so slightly, maybe make it a little bit more blue. Yep. Just get a bit crazy with the colours. Just go bam, bam, bam. That's the cool thing with actually, what's the word? Blocking everything out. There's like a color, you know. It's like its own little island of value. You know, we can just come in with the, well, sometimes we can come in with the paint bucket tool if it's not too close. Then maybe we can increase this white just ever so slightly. And because we're under skylight as well. Nah, we'll just do it with the lasso here. Cool. Yeah, this doesn't show it as much, but I might want to just show this to be under shadow because there is a surfboard that is resting on top the roof. I'd love to go surfing, but I don't want to get eaten by a fucking shark. It's the only sport where you've got monsters chasing after you. And that is a real concern here down in Australia. Down under. Here. What time have we got? 45. Plenty of time. Might as well just start. Could start again if we want. Not really. I don't really see this in the reference, but I'd like to make those ties pop just a little bit more. They're facing, like these bottom rims are going to be facing upwards. Right, so they're going to be a little bit more brighter on the bottom, maybe. I don't know. What have we got? 0 seconds. Drop them. Mitsu Kami, greetings from Brazil. Welcome. Greetings from Australia. So yeah, cool, that's a nice little warm up to get the juices flowing. Lots we could do with it. Even playing around with like gradients and all that kind of stuff. Wickard, I'm a beginner digital painter. Why is painting skin so damn hard? I think, I don't know you, I haven't seen your work, so I can't accurately help you out in any real way, but as a general thing, one thing that helped me, that's the only thing that I can say, and and use is my experience. And that, it might not even be right. Anyway, thinking about when you're painting something, thinking about that something really intensely, right? So you're like, oh, I'm painting skin, it's so hard, the skin's really tricky, It's like, or I'm painting hair, or I'm painting the ocean, or I'm painting this tree. Once I started to think about concepts and abstract concepts, regardless of what I was painting, that's when things started to click for me. For example, everything's lit by light, right? Without light, we see nothing. So understanding some more fundamental or foundational principles of light and shadow and all that sort of stuff is going to take you a long way to feeling less of that overwhelm, regardless of the topic that you're trying to paint, if that makes sense. That's just my thoughts. Others might disagree. Oh, is the voice low? Here we go. I was speaking low though. Mixty, absolute legend, always coming in clutch. Capri Sunny, if it weren't for your maturity, I would have taken you for 25 years. Thank you very much. I'm 5 years younger. AES Defin. AES Tasfin. Good morning. Adonna, how you doing? Udula, great to have you. Hunt's Hutch, it's hard to be an artist and make content because you can easily make content and not have to be a typical artist. So I'm trying to find that balance, like what's going to catch attention, but I don't want to make art for that purpose. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, at the same time, like just being straight up, no one's forcing you, and I'm not saying you, the proverbial you, right? No one's forcing any of us to post online, right? It's a choice. I think of it all as like a game in a way, right? When it comes to the numbers and stuff. No one's forcing me to play this game. So I can't really complain if I'm not doing well in a game that I've chosen to play, or I'm not reaching the, and I can't really complain about the rules of the game if I've chosen to play that, right? Although you could argue that the game's rules are changing all the time, but at the end of the day, that's kind of the game that we're playing. The rules can change because we don't have control, they're not set in stone. The algorithm changes and that kind of stuff. So it's one of those things that I enjoy adapting to, enjoy trying to figure out, where others might be more frustrated with it. I'm like, okay, cool. There's new techniques and strategies. How do I fit that within what I want to put out there? I don't want to start fucking dancing on stream to get attention. It's not, but how would I, yeah, how do I figure out the game more so? But it is tough, it is tough. Devi Animation, love the biz talk. Oh, fantastic. I love talking the biz. Oh, hopefully that's balanced out now. The audio, the background and the voice. Annie Reeves, welcome. Welcome back, great to have you. All right, let's get going. So this is a character that I wanted to play around with today. Whoa, 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 whoa. Bring it back. Let's come here, let's open. So this is where I might, this one. So I want to play around developing this idea. So what I've actually was playing around with Clip Studio. So I might copy it into, their pencil brush is sick. It looks like a freaking pencil. How the fuck can I just drag and drop into Clip Studio? Is it going to be compatible like that? I highly doubt it, no. Oh, I'm also going to do the whole export, fucking this and that. Okay, so let's just export this quickly to desktop layer 3 here, whatever. Desktop, where is layer 3? Oh, did it export it to a weird spot? So this is how I work. I just fling it around and I'll clean it up later if I need to. Cool. How do I put it? See, it's just these little things. It's gonna be really freaking annoying. Okay, here we go. Off we go. So in Clip Studio at the moment, I might flip back and forth to Critter later on. Is that a little granny working on a spacesuit? No, it wasn't going to be a little granny, but it could be. Agent Psycho, welcome back. Debbie Animation is very true. Can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You can make time to create private art, but if you're making your art public, make what the public wants. If you want to play the game, play the game. Yes, and I agree with that. There are some caveats to that, but generally speaking, yes. Hunt's Hutch, do you struggle to make art if it's not for a monetized purpose or study? I'm a recent art school grad, so I'm out here asking too many questions. I don't struggle with that. I just they tend to be one and the same for me. It's either for content or learning, or both, which is the ideal, right? So that's how I've kind of set it. I've decided to set it up, or set up my processes, I guess you could say. So that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to work with is, I'm trying to work with this freaking program at the moment and it doesn't. Alright, so I'm just going to do a pencil. Doing some pencil work. Let's figure this out with the old Clip Studio. Because the pencil actually looks pretty legit. I mean, look at that. That's pretty. Looks kind of like, yeah, pretty real. So I just want to refine some of these shapes. Like let's have a look. Now, we don't have stabilization on here, but I don't need it as much when I'm looking at the screen. And come through and rotate. Why has it gone to oil paint now? There's going to be these growing pains, I feel. I feel the growing pains. Okay, so I'm pressing B as brush. What is this? P for pencil. Okay, that makes sense. No, that's pen. P. Fuck me. Ay, 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 ay. So yeah, you're gonna watch me struggle today, and that is fine. That's what it's all about. So I don't want to get too tight with it though. I want to explore different ideas and sort of go over the top of it. So let's actually, I've got a mech Pinterest board. Let's have a look at that. Also, I really want to get into art toys, like making them. This whole plain Jane process, oof, I'm in love with it. Where are my mech? Show me my mech. Where the... Thank you. Like some of these, just having a look at some of them to see different ideas of, because I need. Okay. I need some reference here because I'm really not used to. Give me the pencil. I'm really not used to doing mech stuff. So I would like to get into it a little bit more. And I also, for this character, I wanted to kind of base from a purely nostalgic perspective on, let's get me full screen on stream. So there we go. So you can actually see some freaking reference. From a purely nostalgic perspective, I wanted it like Initial D. So I kind of want to have like elements or aspects of like the, what was that, the 8.6. And maybe try and come up with a story along the way. So yeah, now we're just in chill mode. We're in chill mode, ask me anything you want, and I was sort of stuck in stop in bits and pieces. That's not the word that I was trying to think of, but realm of solo. So when you're noodling or trying to develop an idea, what techniques or practices do you do? Like, will we see more thumbnails for this sketch? Potentially. I mean, this sketch is kind of like, I just wanted to flesh out this sketch more so. But then I might come in to the side and say, okay, for example here, what, from like a front view, what would this character actually look like? Is there like a full-on helmet sort of thing, or is there, like, what's the connection between the top and the bottom half? Is it more this kind of deal, or are there other things, you know what I mean? So that's probably what I'll start doing. And I do like sketching in Cook Studio. There's something about it. So yeah, so it's going to be scribbly, it's going to be very like idea heavy, maybe a bit of rendering. I don't know, don't want to make any promises. It keeps messaging me. Okay. And this is a good, I reckon this is actually a good way to learn like perspective as well. Right, so you can really, like if you want to make this look correct, you've got to get your perspective at least part the way right. Hunt's Hutch, Clip Studio rotates through its hotkeys so B doesn't go standard brush but rolls through whatever is up next. Aha! Thank you for that, Hunts. We're all struggling here, no, Lisa. That we are. Oh, just like now. Let's go to P. That is very frustrating. I wonder if there's a way to play around with some different sort of hotkeys and that kind of stuff to get it working how I'd like to. One cool thing that I did see with Clip Studio is this. This isn't sponsored. I'll tell you if anything's sponsored, but Dave Raposa got me onto it, and I've just been exploring how you normally like mix colors, right? On, so you've got blue here, like this is an oil, and if you get yellow, it actually is like additive in a way, or it should be. This is gonna make me a liar. You can see like there's actually green there. It'll actually mix the colors versus, so now you can color pick that and it's green. Whereas it doesn't really work like that in Photoshop. It's like a new thing in Clip Studio 2.0. So when you're actually mixing colors, they mix like they would in real life. I think like the gouache was like a good, yeah. So you get blue and then you sort of mix it over. And then it's like that kind of thing, so yeah. That is what I thought was cool. So you could actually learn a bit of color mixing digitally. So maybe we don't want to go like, Clip Studio, how do you flip your bloody canvas? Clip Studio, flip canvas. You can just shortcut. Just tell me, anyone know how to set up? Oh, you got to set up a shortcut. Alright, well, it is what it is. Can't do much about it. So she's like holding that up. Oh, maybe she's not holding it up. Maybe it's just been like moved there, like the hand. I really like how you can just, yeah, just like a pencil, just come in here and just go. That looks very pencil-y. Can she fly? Who bloody knows? Exhaust bits and pieces here. Who bloody knows? I feel like the feet should be pretty large-ish. maybe the helmet, like what does the helmet look like? It's probably gonna look, because I'm just not used to it, pretty standard. Like if we look here, Hunt, I switched to CSP recently because I like drawing with it more, but I did have to take time to make my own workspace. Yeah, it's something that I've got to do, definitely. Erica, what do you do about the negative thoughts you have during drawing? I'm not good enough, this is crap, why am I even doing this, like that? I can't explain to you how much I did the same thinking for most of my drawing career, I guess you could say. I've only made this a career in the last couple of years, but what do I do about it? I try and be, I've tried to be more pragmatic about it. So actually, instead of just saying, oh, this looks crap, I ask why. Why does it look crap? What about it isn't looking correct? So then I can do something about that. So then I can do some more study. So then I can look at other artists that are doing a similar style that I might be interested in and say, okay, what's the difference? Look back and forth, back and forth. Why does this look good? Why doesn't this look good? And don't necessarily look at it as a whole, but see if you can chunk it down into, is it the shapes that are off? Is it the color? Is it is it the line? You know what I mean? So it's turning those thoughts into sort of a realization. They're not good thoughts, but they can be useful, because then it shows that you understand that you've got room to grow. And I still think about those. I'm not as harsh because I've realized, and I've sort of trained myself, like beating yourself up about it doesn't help anyone. No one really cares if you think your work's bad, if you're like, oh no, this sucks, da 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 da. No one cares, they're too concerned about their own shit, right? It doesn't help anyone else. It doesn't help you. So what can you do about it? What can you do about those feelings of, oh, this isn't looking good? You can turn it into actionable steps to get better, I think. Whether that's taking a course, like that. Some of my biggest aha moments have been taking a course where it wasn't actually necessarily anything technical. It was just a little switch that flicked. And it's almost, it was so weird. I remember, what's his name? Jason Seiler. I took one of his sort of painting courses on schoolism. And it was just something, I can't even remember what he said, but I remember it was a moment where I was like, oh shit, he does that, that makes sense. And then it kind of just unlocked something. And it's almost like I needed permission. I think it was a lot to do with like references and stuff like that. Like it's like, oh shit, he uses a lot of references. There's nothing wrong with using references. Hell yeah. All right, cool, let's go to town. And then it was kind of off to the races. And then I had different realizations with different teachers over the years, like just online. And even observing others like work in real time as well. It's like, okay, how fast are they moving? Are they scribbling like crazy? Like, are they more of like a Glenn Keane kind of real like animatory sort of deal, blah, 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 blah? Or are they more precise? I like to, I like to experiment with that. You know, so yeah, it's hard because I don't know you, I don't know the way that you think. No one knows the way anyone really thinks, but if there's a way to turn those negative thoughts and know that it's normal to have those thoughts, it's not, you're not in your own little island. I have those thoughts. I've had those thoughts. The amount of unfinished work that I've done in my life is fucking unreal, that I just threw away. I just deleted. I said, fuck it, it's not working, and I just get frustrated. But as soon as I started to think about how I can turn that frustration into something that I could use. Like, all right, I'm unhappy with my work. Cool, we've identified a problem. How do we fix that? Do we need to get better at perspective? Do we need to understand a little bit more how light works with our rendering? All right, so I hope that helps. That's a bit of a ramble, but I hope you're not beating yourself up too much, Erica. Blissful, look at you go. You're the story writer of this. This can be your Chroma Corp character for Cynics. I feel embarrassed, but I don't know what Chroma Corp is. I've seen it, but I don't know what it is. Should this be something that I'm a part of, that I should do? Erica, never compare your behind the scenes work to someone's masterpiece. Yes, 1000%. Hunt's Hutch, finishing stuff, like be a finisher. Finish the things that you start, because I oftentimes learn more from finishing a project than if I was just to quit and start a new one, if you know what I mean. That's another thing, that sort of like realization that I've had, even over the last like couple of years. I'm better off, like, and that might mean that I have to start again, but still on the same project, and just really analyze what's working, what's not working. But sticking with it, I learn a lot more by sticking with it than just saying, fuck it, on to the next. Yep, she's gonna fly. I did see, like, I had an idea for a print, like, because I bought myself a printer, like an art printer. I'm gonna be sort of making those available in short sort of like batches. I saw someone drawing or painting in gouache, like a beach scene. Right, so you had the beach, and then you had like boats and whatever. I would love to, like I was thinking about it for this character, do like a little, like something like this, but then you actually see it flying like across the, so you see like the plumes of smoke, but then you see like the beach underneath. Like that would be cool. I was playing around with that idea. In my head, I didn't put it down anywhere, but so maybe we can think, all right, what's the back of this going to look like? Like, what's that jetpack? We could like design that out. Do we want it to be more of a futuristic? I almost imagine like if Apple designed this kind of stuff, you could think about that. Or do we want it more like old school, where there's like rivets and that kind of stuff? I also want that like the Toyota Trueno AE86 kind of car is like the inspiration for maybe the color scheme. It's like white, which could be fun because having a white color scheme with a more reflective material, it's going to reflect a lot of the environment. Spacesuit reminds me of NASA. The bulkiness of it makes it feel like it's functionality over form. It is masculine. Yeah, I like chunky. That's the kind of vibe I'm feeling like. Yeah, chunky stuff. It's on his Discord. Yeah, cool. All right, I'll give it a whirl. Aha. Yep. J artist. I like that. I don't know about elderly. Maybe she's elderly. But this is like been her companion throughout the years when she was like in battle and that kind of stuff. That could be cool. Then there's like sparks and shit going off there. So yeah, the jetpack, the jetpack. What could that look like? We might need to develop it over time. It might not come to me straight away. Or is it just like a single exhaust potentially? Or is it like a double? See, this is the thing, I'm not used to thinking about these problems. It's more like two separate kind of ones sort of poking out that way, but then they can kind of be maneuverable. Who bloody knows? I'm just enjoying sketching in this old clip studio. All right, let's develop this character a little bit more maybe. Now this is what I was talking about in my latest reel with like the nose direction. The nose and the ear can just give so much without anything else, just to begin with. One thing with these more like, what's the word? Like more neutral kind of poses. I like to do, like, think about how I would, like, instead of having the feet perfectly next to each other, it's like, all right, let's figure out how to make it more natural. Like maybe she's, like the legs sort of like kick back a little bit. Like wheels. There, you know, like if you ever like tried to push like a roll chair. So maybe she's trying to, just out of habit. Maybe it looks good, maybe it doesn't, I don't know. We will see. But as a whole, I like the composition. It's pretty cool, pretty cool. Realm of Solo, how often are you in Discord? Not super often, but that's something that I want to change. I've just been heads down trying to get this plain Jane out. She could be a soldier or was a soldier but still works on mechs. That's the kind of vibe I'm thinking. It's like this is an old, like she understands the model, like this particular model, very well. Because back in her heyday, that's what she used to fight with. Could even put the arm up a little bit, because we can use this to kind of point down to her, to then sort of, still trying to figure that out, like leading the eye, like the arm, the hand is like pointing down to her, so you're looking at the neck first and then down. So let's have a look. Cook Studio. The idea of a subtool threw me a bit. I'm like, what the fuck is a subtool? Okay, now, easy enough. Jeez. Mark of Art. Welcome back, my friend. It's 4 a.m. and I just woke up to get a glass of water. It's a bummer I haven't been able to watch the streams lately, but I hope you're well. I hope you're doing well, Mark. I hope you have a great rest of your sleep. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, I think I'll do some Twal. I think I'll do some Critter. She could have let a friend in mobile infantry mech parts department who would send her pieces every now and then, and she's fine tuning the discontinued model she used to work with. Man, you guys with these stories. Freaking love it. I wonder like if there's the equivalent. What could be cool is if there's like the equivalent of drifting, but in it like with mechs. Like if they're like flying around and they're just like I don't know. I'll butcher your name. Tu Trong Win T. My apologies. Is the Filthy Autofill plugin compatible with Photoshop 2021? I believe it is, yes. Do you take notes after you draw something you struggle with? Generally speaking, yeah. If it's like a real big struggle, then I'll write some notes and I'll be like, all right, what's working, what isn't working? And like as in notes, I'll be like, okay, notes for my future self. I'll be like, too small, like this is unclear, etc., etc. Now here I'm trying to make it more, I'm going to make it more vague as to what exactly she's doing. And maybe that flips out. Oh, there's like some sort of, I don't know. I don't want to obscure her face though, so we might have to play around with the composition a little bit. But yeah, maybe instead of being like military, maybe this is like how people tinker with their cars, you know, like people tune them up and that kind of thing. Maybe so it's got like decals and shit on it. It's like she's sponsored. She's like a sponsored mech. Let's do another layer. I wonder, how do I select more than one? Why isn't, select this one and select, okay, group, all right. How do I copy this? Duplicate that. Can I merge selected layers? Thank you for being clear, you user interface designers. Legends. Okay. Now maybe we do like a front view of what the thing's going to be. Micah, do you find you have different processes for different programs? Yeah, I'm finding that just through this little play around because I haven't really used Clip Studio much. But yeah, definitely, because I mean there's limitations and advantages to each sort of program. Blissful, I don't have that idea. She could be part mech herself. Mark of Art, I might lurk a bit before sleep takes me over again. Maybe I'll leave the stream so you can at least I get the watch done. Appreciate you, Mark. Legend. Lockheed instead of Lockheed. And the VIP brought in their mech on the fritz and she's fine tuning it, or even opening up the forearm panel to get to work on it. I like that. Rachel, yeah, there's so many different ways you could go about this. I want to go the non-typical route. Like, are there even like wheels of sorts on the feet? Like, I'd like it. How like you have drift competitions and stuff. What is the equivalent in the mech world? Is it flying? Is it... I don't know. So now I'm just doing a front view of, so we can just explore it a little bit more. I mean, what's the helmet look like? That's another thing. Is there a place for the helmet? You know, like it would make sense that there's like a helmet holder of sorts. Because if someone's not always in it, instead of just having the helmet lay around, or maybe it's too heavy so it needs its own stand or something, who knows? Let's have a look at some of these. It could be very blocky, because maybe it's an older model, it's a little bit more on the blocky side. Humans are going to be using it. Should kind of, yeah, conform to human anatomy at least a little bit. So this is in its like parked state, I guess you could say. J artist. There could be a crowd of mechanics in the background marveling at what she's showing, like she's teaching how to repair of the mod. Aha, I like it. No, I do like that. How do you strike a balance between pushing creative ideas in your work and keeping things grounded enough to be believable? Like, are you going from drawing a real-life mechanic to a cool mech, or a cool mech being repaired in a realistic way? If I'm honest, I'm not thinking about it that much. I'm just playing at the moment. Like, I mean, we could... I guess it's also thinking through the thought process. It's like, all right, even with the helmet, maybe the helmet is a little bit smaller and it's actually got... it actually can be kept within this compartment here, you know, or there might be an actual like holder for the helmet, like a stand or something that can give you diagnostics around. Like, I'm almost thinking about the utility of things, which can help. But I just had this idea in my head. I was just like, all right, I want to do mechs. That'd be cool, someone working on it. And that's where we're at the moment, so it's a very early stage. I mean, this could be the front, maybe it's a little bit wider. We might want it more like kneecaps here, or we might want it more like really blocky sort of stuff. And I like the idea of the knees being bent. Like when it sits, it's just like so like from the profile view, the knees are like sort of keeping themselves up like that. It's not like straight up because it's got to hold its own weight. Back in space like that. Yeah, what does a helmet look like? Is it like, let's just play with shapes. So we could do that. Like super simple. That looks kind of silly. Like, could there be, is it almost like a bike helmet where you could choose, doesn't necessarily have to go with like the hardware. Like they've got to have their standard stuff, but maybe you can buy the helmets from other places. Like a flat. Maybe because it's older, it has like a little antenna. I have no clue. Oh, like space basketball. Yeah, like the Mecha Olympic or something like that. I feel like I want it like Underworld though, or like not technically legal. Kind of like how drifting is, but it can be regulated. A new dog walker system. I only think of what you're describing in flight is knife edge maneuver. I think I know what you're talking about. Blissful, she could be part of the same world of your Gaia character with the blue lizard alien on his shoulder. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they could be all interconnected, like even the mystical forest mechanic, and even the guy like old mate Chickenhead. Maybe I'm making a whole universe and I didn't even know it. April Moops, welcome. But yeah, like you could have, these could be all wicked colors. Like this could be like all holographic. Yeah, maybe the helmet's just something that they carry around that sort of is compatible with these types of mechs. Yeah, it's sort of like a bike helmet. Maybe there's like vents here of sorts. Jeez. And maybe, how do we stylize this even more? I do massive hands, like massive feet. Like just play with the proportions of stuff. Something really appealing between like mech and like organic stuff, like people, like mixing the worlds. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this pencil brush. It's sick. Uday Kumar, I didn't. Realm of Solo, that seems like a thing a ton of artists do without realizing. World building by drawing, yeah. If it's like unregulated, underground, illegal stuff, I could see the helmet as having devil horns for the antennas. They could be different like types of people. Like you got the bad guys, but then you got the guys that are just like trying to make a living. But that's the only route that they have. J artists, I like it. And the aliens stealing humans from the forest could be there too. Yeah, that's true. Oh, That'd be cool to have them interacting. That reminds me, I've got to do a post about that as well. The character design quarterly guys featuring me. Do you have to do a post about that? Just a story showing everyone where to get it. But that was awesome. So now I'm just thinking about the light source here. Maybe this is just a hole. Yeah, this is just something about having this more organic feeling. Brush is sick. It would be like a Renaissance piece. That'd be cool. Maybe one day, just do a massive one. That could be like an end of year. I'm not making any promises by any means, but that could be a fun little like end of year, like all the characters that we've made in one. Yeah, I've got to get the pencils out again. The real stuff. Maybe. Okay, anyone that see you later, Lisa. Have a good one. Thank you for popping in. Christian, you cheeky bugger. Do you want to pop on through Discord? How'd the sketch group go? If you're not too buggered. Little doodle devil. How are we doing? Oh, I said, do you want to hop on? Like, do you want to stream and then we chat? Or we can leave it if you're not too knackered from the sketch group that you had. If not, we can always do it next week. probably going to be on for another like maybe half hour, 45, something like that. Oh, cool. We got a guest. Do you want to come through Discord? Because I think I've got that set up. All right, we've got Mr. Christian Nee joining us today. And this is what I want to do moving forward, is just random people, not random people, people that I choose to then just come in whenever they want. Hop in, have a chat. Let me just get... Okay, let's go here. Let's add an audio capture, maybe. Discord. Application. Discord, okay. All right, so when Christian's ready, we'll hop on. What's the benefit of Clip Studio Pro versus Photoshop? I like their brush engine. I mean, you look at this, it looks like an actual, like legit. And also their color mixing. I haven't tried their inking stuff out yet, but a lot of like manga artists and stuff, they use Clip Studio. Clip Studio. Clip Studio. Can do it. Can we do it through Discord? Cool.
What up?
Hey, what's going on, dude?
Not much. How are you? I appreciate you doing
Good.
this. Oh, spur of the moment.
Yeah, man. No, this is what I was planning to do. Hold on, talk for me.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Cool.
I can
Okay,
hear you.
is it
Can you
going through
guys
the
hear on
stream?
chat?
Let me see. Hello, hello. Okay, cool. I can hear it. I could hear it when I play the stream back.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What's going on, dude? How'd the chat go? So let me just introduce who's chatting. It is Mr.
Yeah, for
Christian Nee himself.
What up?
Throw up your Instagram.
Oh yeah. The gram. It's me in the stream.
Are you streaming as well?
No. I just got back from the meetup.
Yeah, how was
I'm
that?
currently eating some stew. It was good. It was awesome. Yeah. So 15, 16 people came through. We went to a Starbucks.
Beautiful.
Yeah, just sat around and drew for a few hours. Yeah, it was cool. For anyone that does not know me, I live in San Diego and I host a drawing meetup in San Diego, and a bunch of people came through. It was pretty neat. Blissful soul, little doodle devil.
Cool. Yeah. So I
how's
should
your,
make like a little like I'll just keep your Instagram up. That's cool.
For sure.
Who's talking? Sorry, go for it.
How's your stream been so far?
Yeah, good man. Giving this mech stuff a shot. Never really done
Yeah, dude.
like to
Yeah, the stuff I've been seeing in the thumbnail is pretty cool, and I've been popping in a little bit here and there
oh
to
yeah,
see it. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
No, I'm
it's super cool to see.
liking
Yeah,
the old mech stuff. Playing around with Clip Studio as
yeah,
well.
nice. Yeah.
Pretty sick.
So, surprisingly, tons of comic artists all use Clip Studio. Like
Yeah,
the price thing is a factor, like the not $30 a month, but in terms of tools for like inking and for like speech bubbles and all that kind of stuff, it's pretty legit.
yeah.
It's like
That's what I've heard as well. Like I heard
industry.
Dave Raposa.
Oh yeah,
He was using it. The one that did the
yeah, the Steven Zapata thing.
yeah, that one. Yeah, so he's on his Patreon.
Yeah,
He was mentioning it, and I was like, all right,
cool.
let's give it a whirl.
Does Dave only use Clip Studio or?
No, he bounces between all sorts. So he does like Photoshop, Clip Studio, and Critter,
Yeah.
and he just uses them for very specific things, which I thought was pretty cool.
I heard that's good. Yeah. I mean, I think I mean, everyone uses different tools. I've been hearing people using Sketchbook lately
Sketchbook.
for stuff. Yeah. It's like a super, like it's like Photoshop, but everything is torn down, so it's like as simple as possible for drawing. But
Yeah, right.
yeah, there's tons of stuff that people use. Joe Quesada uses it for his stuff.
Let me just add your audio to Instagram. Right, you're on Instagram now as well. So Sketchbook, hey?
Oh,
So is it just called Sketchbook? Book.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, if you just look up like Sketchbook drawing app, it should be one of the first ones that come up.
Ah, yes. I've played around with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm looking for different like processes.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
Keep it interesting.
Yeah, I feel like when I mean, I've been doing, I was going through Meds Map for a little bit, and I was getting, like, I feel like I've been stuck in, like, the Watts workflow a little bit, and deviating is really nice and convenient for, I guess for just trying to draw different art.
Yeah,
It's easy to feel kind of samey sometimes.
I've definitely felt like a little bit of a, what would you say? Like a bit more energy, like excitement, because I'm like, oh, I'm going to try this in Clip Studio, I'm going to try this in Critter, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Like you'll hear everybody say it doesn't matter which program you use, but I think it does a lot actually. I mean, in terms of like, excuse me, I don't know if anything really is actually that different. It just feels different, or the UI or something. There's
Yeah, I would agree that
I
it
think
doesn't
blending
matter to a
changes
certain
too.
degree of just getting started. Because you could like swap back and forth. It's like, oh, what's the best? Like Clip Studio. I think asking what's the best is the wrong question.
Yeah.
It's like, I think you got to try them all out really. And see
Yeah,
what,
absolutely.
what sort of works.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a level of discipline in trying to force it that does make a difference, and like at a certain point, I think people kind of like lean into whatever program works best for them. But yeah, I was talking to a comic guy who he colored Paper Girls, the image comic that was turned into a show a while ago.
Yep.
But he doesn't use a Cintiq at all. Like he uses a mouse and keyboard for all of his
What?
coloring work. Yeah, so yeah,
mouse
he
And a keyboard.
yeah he literally just uses his mouse for all of his stuff. Matt Wilson
Shit.
is his name.
You'd hope the fucking line work would be good enough to actually like just click in the colors. Like,
Yeah. I'm pretty sure for for comics, by the time it gets to a colorist, it, like the line, the drawing in ink is pretty much all finished, so it doesn't
Yeah.
really make that big a difference. But, yeah. Comics.
it's good. Just I reckon, looking at others like processes and whatever testing it out.
Yeah, definitely.
So what was it with your
yeah.
with your catch-ups,
Sure.
like the sketch groups? What do you call? What is it? What do you call it? Is it a sketch group or is it like a?
Yeah, so the name of the group is called San Diego Sketchers on Meetup.
Yep.
Yeah, the purpose of it is, like I think in general, it's very easy to get in your own head with style or with, like learning from a specific person, or sometimes it's hard to motivate yourself to draw. So
Yep.
the purpose of it is just to get together with a bunch of other people in San Diego and just draw for no reason other than just to do it. And yeah, there's like there are people that go that are complete beginners, people that go that are like, they're working in games like at Sony, or there's a person I was knowing for a little bit that worked at Blur, on like Love, Death, and Robots and stuff. But the point of it is just to hang out with people and draw all together.
Yeah. Fuck, I wish I wasn't here. I
yeah,
wish we didn't have the fucking ocean between.
yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It's really interesting doing that because I think there's like an impulse to think, and I know it's different in San Diego because there is actually a pretty big art community here. But I think when you're in your own studio, it's easy to feel like your own town or city is like it doesn't have the thing that you do there.
Yeah.
But like having a meetup, it's been really enlightening to be like, oh yeah, there's some pretty legit game studios around here, some really legit artists or whoever, or they're just awesome people that are, hobbyists that are just interested in drawing.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, I've got a. There is one up this way. That happens. It's like plein air.
no,
Have you ever done plein air?
yeah. So I wish I liked it, because
Yeah.
it's like I lived in a van and stuff, and I owned a pretty legit easel for a while, but I just don't like plein air painting. I don't think
fair, dude.
I don't think it's because I dislike it. It's just I haven't really given it the time to really make it fun.
Yeah.
But to correct little ways, the guy Matt Wilson, he didn't draw with his mouse pad or his mouse. He just colored. He colored his pages with a mouse
Yeah.
mostly, and it's like adding effects and
drawing.
stuff.
With a mouse.
Yeah. Yeah. Nuts. Yeah. Have you done much plein air painting, Ben?
I haven't. Actually, I don't think I ever have. But there's a group here that
I
like
Yeah.
does it, and I'm like thinking about giving it a whirl. Because like this kind of stuff I love doing. Like you'll probably see it on delay. But like I just did this as a warm up today, and this to me feels very like plein airy. I don't
Right.
know how big the delay is, but
Oh, sick, dude. That's awesome.
like that sort of shit is kind of it's fun.
Yeah. I don't know. There's something about like there's something super romantic about going, just in your neighborhood or at the beach somewhere and just painting a truck or painting a mountain
Yeah.
or the ocean or something. And I mean, there's so much variety and color and I guess brushstrokes and stuff that can really make a plein air painting look interesting and compelling. And yeah, I want to get back into painting traditionally at some point. I like it as a like as a hobby and as a medium. It's cool to have like an artifact by the end of whatever art you make.
Yeah.
And I think it adds context to an environment as well.
Yeah, because what we were talking about as well the other day is like,
Yeah.
I think the premium on traditional art as well is just going to go up and up and up. Like it's
Yeah, for sure.
particularly with the AI stuff. It's like showing people that hey, look, so I can.
Yeah.
It's real. Not like digital.
Yeah,
but it's like it's just something different. Like, and they both work the same. Like the principle's the same. The light doesn't change whether you're trying to paint it in digital or traditional. It's just the way that you get to the certain result that you're after.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And at a certain point with traditional, it feels the same as digital, and you're just using different shorthands and stuff.
Yeah.
And like it definitely does affect your digital stuff. Like I tend to make my stuff look more traditional than I do digital, just because that's what I drew most in. But Craig Mullins.
Little ways. I can understand using quick shapes with the mouse to build drawings, but straight up drawing lines with the mouse? Yeah, no chance.
Yeah, it's fucking.
Blissful. Yeah, I wonder if there's any places around your area just to take the leap.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I like the when I first started my meetup, I didn't expect anyone to go. I was actually like hoping in some sense people wouldn't, just because I have like bad social anxiety. So I was like, oh man, I hope no strangers come meet me. But the goal was to like set aside a time every week, and if people came, whatever. But the goal is to go and see a cool place that I was interested in and draw there. And if I did that, it was considered a win. And if more people came, then great. If not, then whatever. And there have been some meetups that I've hosted that have been a little bit experimental. Like we went to a dog park once, and it was like really hot and sunny out, and it was windy, so there's dust everywhere. But for, like, I think 4 or 5 people came to that. That was like the least performing one. And then there was one for New Year's recently, like on this 8th of January, last weekend. That I think like 41 people showed up or something.
Yeah, that's nuts, man. That's wicked.
Yeah. And it's like, it's purely just by like me wanting to go to a coffee shop or something, and people coming by and hanging out. Yeah, the art community stuff is hard. I think it's finding the balance between getting good enough, which requires you to just be at your table, just grinding on art, and the other side of that where you need to go and meet people and hang out, which takes you away generally from drawing with people or from drawing on your own.
Man.
Is
I've done basically none of that. I don't really have like in real life, like here in Australia, I don't really have any art friends. I don't think. I think I'm talking out there.
Yeah.
No, it's all online.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I think in general people kind of have a hard time meeting people that are like. I'm pretty sure it takes like a really intentional decision to try and like seek that out. And
Yeah.
with art friends specifically, I think it's harder. Like if you go to school with somebody, you're gonna hang out with them for like a few years while you're in school, but then they likely came from a different city or country or something to go to whatever art school. But yeah.
Yeah, like it's one of those things because like I don't generally like probably similar to you. If someone like invites me somewhere, I kind of like think it through in my head. I'm like, oh, I don't really want to do that. I want to talk to people that I don't know. I'm just like, oh, fuck it, nah. But it's like you really do have to kind of force yourself to go.
Yeah. I feel like to a degree, the meetup for me is like an exercise in optimism. Like, I generally tend to be a little bit of like a pessimist, and having a meetup is like, okay, I'm gonna open myself up to people coming by and like making fun of me or being like weird or making the whole thing like a little bit more uncomfortable. And it really has never happened. Like there have been a few people that have come that ended up like saying some mean things on the message on like the board on the actual web page of the meetup
Like
afterwards. There was one guy that was like, he had come a few times and then he like, I had experimented a little bit with the meetups, and then he was like, he wanted it to be like a really serious art fine art thing, and we were doing like character design and goofy stuff, and he's like, these young, I don't remember exactly what he said, but the you know paraphrased version of it was like, these young dumb kids, all they want to do is this, shallow, you know, character art or whatever, and it's like, and it like everyone there is like, what are you doing? That's super not cool of you to say, but in general, everyone there is very kind and stuff.
Yeah. Fucking. I'll just be like, all right, now you're banned for your shitty attitude.
Yeah. Well, yeah. In general, I think people kind of self-select out. Like,
yeah.
People will, they'll come, and if they don't like it, they just won't show back up, which is, it's just part of it.
Like, what's the point of even saying that? Like, what does that get him? Like,
I mean, I've seen stuff like that happen before with like, I think people in general just like to be a contrarian or just try to cause problems for whatever reason. Yeah. Yeah. But overall, from experience, starting the meetup has been a very positive experience. So if anyone is thinking about doing that, I'll link it in the chat as well for anyone that's interested.
Please do.
I highly recommend it. It's been really fun. I've made a lot of friends through it. And if you're ever in San Diego, feel free to hit me up and come by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't wait to pop over there. It's gonna be so fun. Speaking of,
yeah, I'm excited, man.
Is it set in stone?
Not yet. I think I'm gonna book tomorrow, or Tuesday for the flight.
Yep.
I guess I have no reason not to book it tonight.
Could you aim for
so
around the 20th?
I could do that if you want. Yeah, for sure.
If that works.
Yeah.
Just with the dogs and stuff and getting that logistically, like you get what you get. Like if that's going to cost you more, like don't. Like you
no. I think it's actually one of the cheaper flights on the 20th. Like if I were to fly there on the 20th, I'd probably. I mean, with the like it's an insanely long flight. I'd probably be there. Let me see. On technically the 22nd, but it's still pretty cool.
You know what you should do? You should borrow like a Quest or something from someone, like the VR thing.
I would throw up, man. I'd throw up so fast.
Oh shit.
I suspect.
Oh yeah, so people listening, Christian's coming down under.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's gonna be fun as, dude.
Gonna be
show him some fucking kangaroos, some koalas, some emus. Emus freak me out, man. I'm not a fan of emus.
Yeah. I mean,
they look cool as fuck, but like the noise that they make is, you know how like crocodiles, like you know the noise crocodiles make, where it's like it's almost like prehistoric sort of thing. Emus do the same thing. They're fucking freaky, man.
Weird.
And they have like this, like if they poke their nose through the fence, they have this like white film that goes over their eyes. And it's freaky as fuck. Yeah. They freak me out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I heard that a certain country lost a war with emus at one point. So they're pretty legit.
Sorry, say that again.
Wait. Have you ever heard of the Great Emu War?
No.
Okay, wait. Look
What do
up
they do?
Emu
Like
War.
attach
Okay,
fucking
here,
razor blades
I'm gonna read. It was Australia that lost a war with emus. It was Western Australia.
Get out.
I'm surprised you never heard of this. There are tons of Americans that make fun of Australia for losing a war to emus. I might be wrong, but okay. The Emu War, or the Great Emu War, was a nuisance wildlife management military operation undertaken in Australia over the later part of 1932 to address public concern over the number of emus, large flightless bird indigenous to Australia, said to be destroying crops in Campion district within the wheat belt of Western Australia. The unsuccessful attempt to curb the population of the emu war employed the Royal Australian Artillery, soldiers armed with Lewis guns, leading to the media to adopt the name the Emu War when referring to the incidents. Although many birds were killed, the emu population persisted and continued to cause crop destruction. So apparently the Australians went to Western Australia and tried to kill a bunch of emus with the machine guns, and they couldn't kill emus faster than the replacement rate of emus.
Holy shit. We've got to respect that. Fucking even machine guns
Yeah,
can't get
dude.
rid of them.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
They're
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I think there's only about 1,000 emus were killed, so I don't think it was a huge endeavor. But
yeah, I feel like
you know,
it was kind of like, the cost of ammo
yeah,
and like the time it's taken longer than we thought it was going to be. Fuck it, they win. Because what
I
it
could see
sounded like,
some
the
guy.
emus like rebelled. And I just see like a wall of emus just like...
yeah, a billion emus. Yeah, emus actually rule Australia. But I could totally see it being a guy he absolutely hates emus. So he as like a corrupt official starts this emu war.
Yes.
And then somebody's like, what are we doing spending all this money on machine guns against emus, you know?
You know what? That's probably what it was. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, no, we'll have a good time. Yeah, kangaroos, fucking koalas.
Hell yeah, dude. Have you shot a gun before? Okay, can you do that in Australia?
I have shot a gun, but it was in like a range. And it was
Okay. Got it.
it was like a 22. It wasn't anything crazy.
Okay.
Have you?
Yeah. I've shot up to 9mm, I think, but I'm not like a sharpshooter or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, where I'm at, I'm not in like the outback or anything. We're not in like farmland where you have like rifles and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I was following the Fairbairn Films, or Farbrain Films, or whatever their YouTube channel is. The Australian brothers that do comedy videos. But if you're not familiar with them, they live in the outback and they do all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah, the outback would be that's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, where we're at. There's no crocodiles from that video that you sent me.
Nice.
So there's no crocodiles
Okay.
here, which is good.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
There's sharks. You got the great whites here.
Yeah.
But you got the great whites where you're at though, anyway, don't you?
Yeah. In San Diego, I mean, there's rattlesnakes. There's great white sharks. There's black widows and stuff. So I'm not sure if San Diego's much less dangerous.
Dude, you just rattled off like the main concerns of people coming to Australia: snakes, spiders. That's about it. But I've never seen a snake in the wild here. I've all like gone walking in the bush and stuff.
I saw a rattlesnake recently.
Yeah.
Just hanging out.
Oh, there you go. You've seen more snakes in the wild than I have.
Yeah.
Kind of had to look for it.
Yeah. I'm just saying I had to look for it, which is true. I was looking in a pile of rocks and I saw a rattlesnake.
That's cool. They're deadly, aren't they? They're pretty nasty.
Yeah, they would mess you up.
Yeah.
Have you ever read the Scott Robertson books? What did you think of them?
I have. I like them. Like that's yeah, no,
Yeah, they're good books.
They're actually up here.
Yeah, they're good
How
books.
to render and how to draw, those two ones, yeah, fantastic. They're pretty dry, like they're a textbook essentially. Have you read them?
Yeah.
I think they're fantastic.
Same feelings. Yeah, they're very good, very dry. But I don't know. I would recommend them if that's what you're asking.
It's like one of those. It's one of those books that you just I don't know. I think you just should have it. Is it like a
That
reference?
and like Frame
It's one of those
Geek,
staples.
the Loomis books, the Michael
Yeah.
Hampton book. It's like the books you always see on lists. You know? It's like,
My favourite, Michael Hampton.
yeah. Yeah. Speaking of that,
Can we-
for anyone interested.
Oh, we can talk about it? Good.
Yeah, for sure. I think next week Michael Hampton is going to be doing a pre-sale for a course on Proco, where he goes through his construction stuff. I helped him put it together. But yeah, if you're interested in that sort of stuff, I definitely recommend checking him out. If you, he's going to be making more YouTube content as well. So.
No, he was one of the first people that kind of made things click with drawing the body in 3D, like with 3D forms. Because, like, I don't know about you, I still have a tough time about explaining what gesture is. Like, 'cause it's so ephemeral.
Yeah,
Because everyone has like a slightly different interpretation of it. Whereas with Scott Robinson, like not Scott Robinson, fucking
Michael
Steve
Hampton.
Michael Hampton.
Yeah.
It was just very clear. Of like, okay, here's now here's this and that. It was
Yeah. I mean, I think at this stage, like, yeah, Hampton's book really helped me. I really like Proco's videos on gesture.
Yes.
That really helped me when I was learning stuff.
Yep.
And I don't know, and then Steve Houston's lectures as well really helped me.
Yep.
But yeah, I think eventually you start to have your own kind of shorthand for whatever that means.
Yes,
To be,
definitely.
good at gesture. If you look up Michael Hampton, his books will come up. Or if you just look up Michael Hampton art book, it will for sure come up on Amazon as well. And then, we decided, by the way, for the Michael Hampton course to put it on pre-sale on Proco, because apparently if you do a pre-sale on Proco, it will be featured as a course on there, which is pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
No, that's exciting. Because this is his first, like, apart from his YouTube,
Yeah, it's
that's
his
his
first
first sort of video format sort of teaching, which is sick.
Yeah, he's a good dude, great teacher, great artist. Yeah, and he'd probably hop on stream with you at some point.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'll be down. I've got to get you. I reckon it'd be better even if we could get the camera going with these as well.
Sorry?
Instead of,
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah.
I
Can I just drag your camera on stream? Do you mind? Or
Oh yeah, go
it
for it.
doesn't matter. I just want to test it out to see if I can pop it out.
Yeah.
Whoa, there you are. You can keep scratching the back. That's fine.
Okay, yeah. I have soup as well.
Nice.
That I've been munching on. I don't know if people can hear it, but
Oh yeah.
yeah.
There we go.
Ben and
Cool.
Christian.
So there's a bit of context as well.
Yeah. I'm my shoulder's been killing me, so I'm using this hook thing to get a knot out.
There we go.
Yeah. With Hampton's book, I really like him. If you're looking for more recommendations, Morgan, I recommend. There's this big, Australian idiot, but he has this PDF on Gumroad.
This fucking no self promotion, no third party self promotion here.
Well, in terms of figure drawing books, I think it's like Hampton, Loomis, Hogarth, Bridgman, Loomis, or and then Vanderpool are probably the big ones that people recommend.
From a painting perspective, what are your have you sort of dove too much into painting?
I don't really know too much about. I want to paint more. I'm so afraid of it. The books that people recommend are Alla Prima, by Richard Schmidt.
That's
1
a
and
staple,
2.
hey, yeah.
The James Gurney books, Color and Light. The Nathan Fowkes book on that stuff. he also has a really good one on portrait drawing. And then in terms of like, I guess, actual painting, like how-to stuff, Stephen Bauman has some cool things out there.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I like his
for
stuff.
academic traditional stuff. Yeah. I'm not sure who else. Yeah, the Alla Prima one is the one that comes to mind for most people.
That's
when it
like
comes
the
to
equivalent to like your Scott Robertson, but for painting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's
Or like your
generally a lot
Loomis.
more expensive, and
Yeah.
you know it's out of print, unfortunately.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Have you ever read Alla Prima?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty sick. There was
Yeah.
one with
There,
like a figure drawing, core, like meetup that I went to years back. And they had it behind
okay,
glass,
nice.
and then like the people like take
Funny.
it out. And it's
So I'm going to tell a story that's a little bit incriminating. That
oh.
I didn't do this, but my roommate did. I'm not. He will go. He will remain unnamed. But
Yeah.
so while I was at Watts, I was taking just a couple classes at the community college.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just like like a writing class or drawing class or whatever, just to get some units in or something.
Mm-hmm.
And my roommate was visiting me from San Diego at this community college, and we were just like walking around the library, and because we were just like, for fun, we were like, it would be funny if we looked for Alla Prima here, and then we found Alla Prima in the community college library, and it hadn't been checked out since like the 1980s or something.
Whoa.
I like
So they're not gonna miss
I
it.
want to see when it was published. But yeah, so it hadn't been checked out. So my roommate stole it, and then that became our house's copy of Alla Prima.
Oh shit.
So
You were an accessory to a robbery.
yeah, I didn't do it, but yeah. How can people get away with selling? Oh, it's okay. It's signed. I'm on Amazon right now. There's an $800 copy of Alla Prima
Fucking hell.
up there.
With that, why did it go out of print? Like,
wait,
is
no,
it
it's
probably
so
caught up in
I-
like some weird legal copyright thing?
I'm pretty sure when he was alive, he really didn't care that much. I think he just cared about painting.
Okay.
And then he has another book called Alla Prima 2 that I think is still in print that you can get for probably around $100.
Right.
Um,
Have you read that one?
no, I haven't. I guess I've skimmed through them. Yeah, they are also slightly dry as well. So
Well, that's what I find with a lot of art books. It's not something that I've ever really just sat down and been like, oh, okay, for the next like 2 hours, I'm just going to read. It's usually I
Yeah.
go to it because I've got a problem. And it's like, all right, cool,
Yeah,
let's go and
yeah.
see how they
yeah,
solve
try to
that.
solve a specific problem.
Yeah.
For Andrew Loomis, I think he actually has some cool like life advice stuff in his books that people don't really read. But yeah, I totally agree. Like a famous self-help art book is The Art Spirit by Robert Henri.
Mm-hmm.
That is also very good. But the way you read it, like if you read it all at once, you're gonna, want to die because it's so random and chaotic. But if you just pick it up at random points, it'll
Yeah.
make sense.
Yeah, there's what's it, the Daily Stoic? Like what's his face? Ryan Holiday? Like that's the kind of like getting the what was it? I can't remember. It was Marcus Aurelius.
Oh,
Fuck, what's it called? Meditation.
okay, yeah.
That kind of thing where you don't, you pick it up each day and just take a look at
Yeah.
it and be like, okay, yep, this dude from ages ago was having similar thoughts and feelings and blah blah blah. Sick.
Yeah.
And this is how we do
Yeah,
it.
for the art spirit, I I recommend it way more than most other art books. Like I'd recommend reading that before a lot of these art books we're talking about, just because
Oh
it's like
wow. See, I
more
never read that.
inspiring.
Yeah.
I mean, it like there are a few quotes in there that like a lot of it is just chaos and random nonsense, but it's like there's a few quotes about like how you know the realistic expectations for how much you should study as a student. Um, Rick Rubin, the foreword of his new book was you know it was a quote from the Art Spirit.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Have you read that one?
yeah, and yeah, the Creative Act by
Yeah,
Rick
you
Rubin.
recommend that one?
Yeah, I highly recommend it. Yeah. I think with his book, with Robert Henri's book, it's very much like a, you know, he has gone through the gauntlet of being an artist, and pretty much any question that any artist would ask, like, how long should I go to art school, or what pen do you use, or any of that kind of stuff, there will be an answer to whatever question you probably have in
Yeah.
that book. It's just having the patience to read it is the difficult part.
Yeah. Because I've been guilty of that. Of just flicking through, looking at the pretty
Yeah.
pictures of like some of these.
Which
But
are
like
which
you're
are
saying with
sick.
the Loomis, like
Yeah.
there's some good shit in there. But I just looked at the pictures for most of it
Pictures are
until I decided to, yeah.
pictures are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I got Carl Kapinski's book recently too, which I
Oh,
also
yeah.
like quite a bit. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I haven't
Is
opened it
that
up in a
is
little
that like
bit.
an art book or is it like a? Is
Yeah,
there
yeah.
writing in it?
Here, I'll
Yeah,
grab
yeah,
it.
sure.
Yeah. So for anyone, I think it's one of his new sketchbooks, but essentially it's an art book. It's not instructional, but you
Sick.
can yeah, I guess just prints of all of his art. Pretty cool.
That is someone that I want to start
Yeah.
learning from and like observing how he does stuff. As we
Yeah.
talked about the other day,
I
going more into traditional stuff.
Yeah, I love Carl, man. He's so kind and cool, and his art.
He does seem like a cool dude from like some of the interviews with Proco.
Yeah. He's extremely kind, and he's a great artist, and I'm a giant fan of like the way he approaches it. Like he's like, yeah, I'm just a guy who draws.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Blissful. Have you seen Pencils
Yeah.
versus Pixels? Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't. I don't know what that
I
is.
have. That was good. I think it's on Disney Plus. I think. Oh, that would make sense. I think. Yeah.
Let me see.
That was good. Yeah, like
Okay,
Aaron
cool.
Blaze. You had the Bancroft brothers.
Oh, fun. Cool. Is
Dude, I'm in like you like your
Brian
pencil work and
Quintin.
stuff. Like I'm in love
do,
with
yeah.
Clip Studio. Just this pencil.
Yeah. I was streaming with Ryan on his channel not too long ago for the Procreate thing, and his stuff is so cool to see, like in terms of what we can do in Clip Studio with pencil stuff.
Mm.
It's all about the shapes.
Yep.
Fucking Seth MacFarlane is in Pencils and Pixels. Cool.
Yeah. Apparently you can do animation in this as well. I don't know how, but
Yeah. I mean,
do all
comics and animation and
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Modern Day James uses Clip Studio for stuff. I'm not
He
sure
does
exactly
too.
what, but
I've seen his recent video about it. What was it over there?
I don't have any Income Junkie art books, and I know what Ompulus is, but
Sorry, say that again.
Sorry, what?
Say that again. I didn't catch that.
Oh, sorry. So I don't have any Kim Jong-gi art books, but I do know what Omphalos is. Do you know what Omphalos is, Ben?
I don't.
Because it's his like super lewd art book where it's like yeah, it's pretty much nothing but porn.
Right.
Let me see.
Whose art book was this?
Kim Jong-gi's.
Oh, Kim Jong-il's, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
it's
was.
like
He enjoyed a bit of that, didn't he?
yeah, sure did. Henry Ann. I don't know Henry Ann. Oh yeah, Henry Ann's cool. Kind of reminds me of Zin Lim.
Have you got any KGJ art books? I highly recommend Omphalos. Morgan Constrictors. KJ or KJG. No,
Kim
I don't.
Jong-gi.
Oh, idiot, of course. Fuck. But no, I
Aurora
still.
Valley is pretty cool. Yeah. Rembert Montald is releasing a book. If people. don't know
Aha,
who
he
that
is. Yep. When's that coming out?
I don't know.
Because there was
It's
a,
gonna
was
be
it
a
a
little bit-
pre-order? It wasn't Kickstarter, was it?
Yeah,
Or
it was
Kickstarter.
It was a pre-order. Yeah.
Oh, it was
yeah.
pre-order. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, his stuff is
Pretty cool.
wicked. Like I just
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting the-
giant fan
getting
of
the
him, his
ballpoint.
art.
was that all his ballpoint stuff?
Yeah. All of his
Yeah.
ballpoint drawings
That's
as like a
just
student
that's
and
just
stuff.
so cool.
Yeah. Those,
Is that
cool art
something you'd
books
like
are
to do
always
one day?
Really fun to see.
Have
Yeah,
a book
I think
out?
so. I just have to have a larger body of work. You know. I
Yeah.
just have to do more drawings and. But yeah, I would aspire to make a book at some point.
That'd just be cool.
Yeah. It'd be cool to do one of those like Russian academic books, with some cool figure drawings.
What? How are they different?
like
I'm not familiar with them.
Oh shit, really? Yeah, they're these like 11 by 17 or even bigger Russian art books. They're really big, you know.
Yep.
It's like probably from the top of your head down to your belly button in terms of size, and it's like 100 pages each book, with just like Russian academic figure drawings. You know, it's like
That's cool.
sort of like Ivan Loganov, his work. If you have seen it.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, he's
Ivan what?
he is a
Logan.
Ivan Loganov.
Logan.
Yeah, he's a I can't remember the name of the school. St. Petersburg School.
So look, Instagram. Oh, has he done a course? No.
Yeah, I don't know. Stan is a giant fan of him, and he was gonna fly him out from Russia, and then the Ukraine war happened.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, we put the kibosh
big
on that.
bummer. Yeah,
Yeah, well.
yeah, he's a very good academic artist. But yeah, it would be cool to do something like that at some point.
Yeah, that'd be sick. I do love the real, just like academic stuff.
Yeah.
There's something about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
What time is it over there?
It is 6:42 p.m.
You had dinner yet?
I'm eating some soup right now as we're
Oh,
talking.
yes, that's right.
Yeah, some stew. What time is it for you?
1:13 p.m. How are you with jet
Do you have
lag?
any other
usually?
plans? I don't know. I mean, I'm not great, probably,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna try and get a red eye when I come over to you.
Mm-hmm.
Just to sleep overnight.
Yep.
Or maybe I'm not sure if I should do that. I haven't done any international travel for like I think 2 years. Yeah. So
Right.
The worst jet lag I've had has been from like I think California to London,
Yep.
which is probably about as bad as to Australia.
Yeah.
But I was pretty messed up. So I'm hoping that when I get over there, I can manage to get on a sustainable sleep schedule.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing I've heard is like exercising as soon as you get to the place.
Yeah.
That's all going to be dependent on how you're feeling. I did check with my gym. We might have to pull a sneaky and sign up to another gym because some gyms have like 2-week free trials.
Okay. Yeah.
So we can both just sign up for a 2 weeks free trial. Like
I'm down. Let's do it.
like some gym.
Yeah.
Like I'm really interested in testing out this.
Yeah. Do you have any interest in doing like an ice bath while I'm there?
Definitely. I just don't know if there's a play. Like we could do one at the house.
Okay. Yeah.
If we just get a shit ton of ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to like save bottles and like fill them up with water, throw them in the freezer, and then just use that for like ice bath. But then it was just filling up the freezer too much. We needed to put food in there.
Yeah. I've never I don't do well with cold generally, so
No.
I've never done an ice bath before, so it'd be a whole new experience for me.
Oh, dude. Yeah, we were talking about that the other day. On yeah.
Yeah, I've done
So you and
cryotherapy, but
you and Stan haven't done one yet.
sorry?
You and Stan haven't done one yet.
No, we haven't.
No.
Yeah, it's just been both busy.
It's one of those really weird. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
It sucks, but it's awesome. It's one of the few things that like really, really suck, but it's like
Totally worth it.
right after, yeah.
Yep.
There's like apparently like certain times you should and shouldn't do it. Like straight after the gym, you shouldn't do it because it inhibits muscle growth. But you should do it before the gym and all sorts of weird shit. We used to have to do it for baseball, like.
Okay, cool. That makes sense.
But we would go from the ice bath. No, we'd go sauna, then like spa, like really, really hot spa bath, and then into the ice bath, and then do like cycles of that. That was the best feeling, going from the ice bath and that walk over to your like to the fucking spa bath. It was wicked.
You're gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean the way that Joe Rogan talks about it, it's like one of the most important things in his life is doing it.
Yeah, that and sauna. I fucking love the sauna. The heat shock proteins, apparently.
Oh yeah. The cryotherapy sounds fun.
Yeah, I heard that's not as effective. Like,
no,
as,
yeah,
like the ice bath.
I was talking to Stan about it, and he was saying it's a completely different experience.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's purely just like it's cheaper to run than having an ice bath, I think, for companies. So people just do it because of the economics of it.
Yeah.
And it still is. I think it still is helpful, but your whole body is not being submerged in ice, so it's like a whole different sort of deal. But yeah,
So funny. People back in the day was like, these fucking idiots. Like, they pay to be freezing cold. Like everyone, all of our ancestors worked so hard to be comfortable. And now we're like, we're too comfortable.
We need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon there's something to be said about that.
Suffering. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, in general, I think that when I willingly accept discomfort, I never regret it.
Yeah.
When it is thrust upon me without any consent, I am like, this is the worst shit on the planet.
Yes.
Uh,
That's what it felt like when I used to hate, like, because I played baseball for like a very long time, like all through
yeah.
up until I was thinking I was maybe like 19, 20, and that was like my main thing. And I hated going to the gym. I love going to the gym now, but when it was like forced upon me, like, all right, the team has to do this, it was the worst. Like, I absolutely hated it. But now I'm like, dude, you had like a free gym for like all your teenage years where like your testosterone is through the fucking roof. Like, you should have utilized
Yeah.
that. But no, I hated it.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
don't know.
weird when it's like self-driven.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there is probably like a metaphor with that in relation to art, you know? When you're like being forced to do studies and being forced to do all the things
Yeah.
you don't like you should do, but you don't want to do, it actually makes it harder to go do those things and do it organically,
Yep.
do it for fun. And I think as a result, you're just not going to be able to pull the same amount of good stuff from doing studies, doing those kind of exercises.
Definitely, man. Like, I mean, even with like anatomy and stuff, I think people take it as something to then like, it's almost like checking it off the list. It's like, I know
Yeah.
anatomy now. Now I can have fun after
Yeah.
it. It's like, how do you make that
Yeah.
fun in general? Like, I'm with anything, I'm never going to know it. Yeah, I can be
Yeah. Yeah.
workable with it
Right.
and I can use it as a tool to sort of get the idea across or whatever. But I'm never going to be like done
Yeah,
with like
absolutely. Well, and
learning.
with knowing anatomy too, it's like knowing anatomy is like, you know what like the sartorius is, or you know what like the rectus femoris is, but that's not actually knowing anatomy. Like,
No.
learning how to like change a shape to make it like a more heroic character or more feminine character or something is like a whole different skill set, and
Yeah.
it's like, you know, it's hard, to manipulate anatomy.
That's it, man. But it's just like, I reckon that just sort of like school mentality. Because as soon as you say study,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, crack open the fucking textbook and away you go, sort of thing.
Technically, like everything is studying. Like sketching in your sketchbook can be considered studying, but it could also be super fun and awesome.
That's it, dude.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I'm going to make anatomy. I don't know. I find it hard when people are like, oh, I hate anatomy. I'm like, well, then don't fucking do it.
yeah.
Do,
I mean, yeah, there are artists that don't even learn
do
anatomy. That makes them
environments.
cool. Yeah,
But it's like, if you want to do characters and you want them to look somewhat believable, I think it's super, super valuable.
yeah, yeah. Um,
Joni J, you are drawing every day, every time, but where is it your income? You have another job. Do I do this as my income? I think that they're trying to say.
yeah,
Yes. Not directly just yet, but through sort of social media and that sort of stuff is where I get my full-time income from, through
Yeah.
selling the Gumroad course. Links in the description. But
shameless plug.
that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
But soon I'm going to be dropping prints of my artwork and dropping sculptures and all that sort of stuff. So actually selling my art as well. So that's going to be part of it. Building up the YouTube channel. And yeah, so it's good fun. What about you, Chris?
Buy bench shit. I do it kind of 50-50. Part of my income is teaching and stuff and doing art, and then the other income is helping people with their social media stuff. So I edit videos for Ryan Benjamin. I'm gonna start helping a guy named Alex Sinclair, and then more recently Steve Hampton, Michael Hampton, and stuff. How long did it take to feel somewhat stable with where you were going with art, or does that feeling of chaos never change? I think it gets better. I mean, like anything, I think there's this urge to try to make something feel stable and consistent. And at a certain point with art, it's like anything else. Like being an accountant or something, you just figure out how to make money from it. But like accounting, it's always changing, it's shifting and stuff. And I had a conversation with Bryce Coe recently, and he was talking about how art brain and business brain are almost completely two different skills.
Yep.
And they overlap sometimes, but they both require a lot of intentional study and action to get them done.
It's like art brains, they've got their own sort of categories. Like you've got art, you've got the fundamentals, you've got your style, you've got different mediums, you've got painting, drawing, you've got subject matter, you've got all that sort of stuff. With business, you've got marketing, you've got sales, you've got expenses, you've got
Taxes and stuff. And
funnels, you've got all that sort of stuff. Like, yeah, they're all skills that can be learnt. But for me, to feel somewhat stable where you're going with art, I'm going to go more philosophical with that one and say I'm learning to be more comfortable with the instability, because that's never going to change, and I don't want that to change. Like, not so much the stability from a business standpoint, but knowing that your tastes are going to change over time, knowing that your audience's tastes are going to change over time, like what you're interested in, etc., etc. Getting comfortable with that is something that I've began to really just sort of sit into. Just like, all right, now I'm doing mech stuff. Like a year ago, if I thought I was doing this kind of thing, fucking no way. I'm doing characters, but I'm figuring out a way to bridge the gap. There's going to be a character that's going to be interacting with the mech here and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of,
Well, I look at it
evolving.
in the same way that, like, you'll watch like a bunch of different kinds of movies, like you'll watch horror movies and Adam Sandler comedy stuff, and then like a reality TV show, and then some like really serious, like Martin Scorsese movie or something, and
Yeah.
like all of those different things exist in you, and those desires shift, and it's just trying to apply that like flexibility with what you like to the stuff that you create as well. Iranian asks, how do you suggest someone who can't afford traditional art school, etc., start to make an art career? Is it just building a portfolio? You have any initial thoughts, Ben Eblin?
Fuck. I'll always preface this with I don't know, because I didn't go down that route. I can't really talk to it because I never did it. I didn't go like the tradition, like I'm still building the career at the moment. I'm in the thick of it. I didn't build a portfolio. For me, it was doing this for fun until I decided to start sharing it online. So one of the biggest things is I think understanding what your goals are to begin with. What do you like? That's the first thing, because you could be like, all right, I want to go to traditional art school. If you were going to go to art school, you still got to figure out what you like to do, right? You still got to study on your own. They're giving you the information, but you still got to do the thing. So I would say figure out what it is that you'd like to do, or at least start to go in a direction. It doesn't have to be the direction that you choose for the rest of forever. It's like, is it characters? Is it environments? Is it more traditional art? Is it oils? Is it gouache? Is it whatever? And then start to get like a North Star of like, all right, where's my tastes? Like, what kind of artist do I like? And then sort of start going from there. Because until that, it's really just like a very broad thing. Like, what do you want to do as a career? Do you want to work for a studio? Do you want to do tradition? You know what I mean? So you need to sort of at least give yourself a direction to start walking towards. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think in general it's easy to to become afraid of what you're doing and how you're going to move forward with stuff. And I think there are skills that we're learning now that we're equally as bad at as everyone else who's just starting.
Yeah.
It's just we have a little bit more experience existing in that like knowing that if we try something for long enough, we'll be able to make money from it or make some stability out of it.
Yeah.
And I think in general, art school doesn't really prepare people for an art career. I think it gives people kind of a lot of options to try and time to go try different things. Like you'll take classes in 3D modeling and animation and figure drawing and you know, like painting and you know, like all sorts of different things, plein air, whatever. And you're going to be able to like wear a bunch of different hats as somebody who could work in a career, but it's kind of up to you to do the work outside of art school to go and be an artist. And everyone I know who went to some fancy art school and went into debt for it, they tell me that the work that they did outside of school was ultimately the thing that got them hired and not the art school. And it was valuable to them to go to art school because they met some people.
There is that aspect to it, definitely.
If you can't afford it, I would say just like start making things and putting it out. Like, you know, you being on this in this stream is like actually a really good step. Like there are probably other people who feel the same way that you feel right now of not knowing what to do or where to go or can't afford it, whatever. And having some amount of like, you know, there's probably someone here you could connect with and be like, let's try and make a, you know, a comic book together. Let's try and make a game together. Let's try and do something together. And that ability to go and just, you know, make stuff, I think is actually the thing that makes people successful as creative people. Have good careers. And like whether you're like Todd McFarlane or like a famous movie director, or like somebody who's a painter or video games, whatever, you're just solving problems, and it's hard and it's complicated, but it's hard and complicated for everyone else. It's like equally as hard for us as it is for you, and it never feels easy. But your confidence in your ability to solve those problems gets easier with your like focus on doing the thing that you care about. Because if you care about it, you'll genuinely actually become good at it. Yes. Sorry for the rambly.
Preach. No, it's not rambly.
Yeah, I've started to put my art out and trying to overcome the perfectionist mindset because that means nothing gets released. I understand that, man. I get anxiety and I get like in my own head about making stuff, but the reality I think is on both sides, no one cares. Like I don't think anyone cares if you fuck up and you make something that is really embarrassing, and no one cares if you do well either. Like it exists in someone's brain for a little bit, but it's realistically all just about the next thing.
Yep.
And yeah, it is very hard.
Agreed. I've got very much that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm working on it. That sort of perfectionist. But the thing is, I was thinking about it. If it was like true perfect, I think it's like kind of a misnomer, the word perfectionist. Because say my 15-year-old perfectionist self, what I put out that I was happy with after my perfectionism was like
Satisfied.
settled, me looking back now, that's nowhere near perfection.
It's
like an
dog
illusion.
shit, right?
It's all fucking.
Oh, yeah,
all,
for
it's
sure.
all an illusion. It's all.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty common. I think it's actually really common. I think that's actually in general the thing holding people back most is that like ability to make excuses or to find other things or reasons to not create. And
Yeah.
it's ultimately fear and.
It's a sophisticated
and
form
again,
of procrastination.
Yeah, and it's like everyone struggles with it. Again, whether you are Kim Jong-gi or you're like Martin Scorsese or whoever, like everyone has moments of like, you know, questioning whether the thing they're doing is worth it or not. Because it's like actually a very good question. It's like, should I be doing this or should I be, you know, trying to like eat better or run a marathon or something or become a lawyer or whatever. And in general, if you think about it for long enough, you should be a lawyer or you should be, you know, not doing the thing that you're doing right now, which is hard when you're trying to find reasons to do it.
I think also like the best, like we're talking about lawyers and stuff, like the best people that are in these industries and the people that make waves and the people that people look up to are the ones that really genuinely are like all about it. It's not like a thing that they were just like, oh yeah, I guess I'll do this. You know, like the best lawyers are like the ones that really are into it. The best whatever.
Yeah.
The people that like can't stop talking about it to their friends and they're
Yeah,
kind
for
of
sure.
sick of them fucking talking about whatever. You know, it's
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I think in general, it's like if you do the thing that you care about, it's going to be difficult to like stop doing it. And
Yeah.
if anyone is familiar with my podcast at all, the question that I ask everybody is, would you be doing the same thing you're doing right now if you had $1 billion? And the purpose of that question is more like, if you had $1 billion, you're most likely the most successful and wealthy person in your social group. So theoretically, you no longer have any reason to have any external, like negative external motivations, like parents telling you to go get a job, or friends or something telling you that you're not successful, you're not doing enough or something. If you have $1 billion, you could literally do whatever you want and like pay other people to do it. So like, do you still paint if you have $1 billion? If the answer is no, then maybe you should stop painting. If the answer is yes, then like painting is probably priceless to you. Like once you have that amount of money, your time is so valuable that painting again is a stupid thing, but having freedom and all that kind of stuff is like all about like trying to do the things you really care about, whether it's smart or not. And then the business stuff is trying to make that crazy dream of trying to be a painter online, or somebody who makes ceramic bowls or whatever, actually a viable business. And I think for people that don't think they're business oriented, when you start to have context to the business and how it lets you create more artwork, I think that the problem of solving like Instagram or how you create a shopping cart or landing page or something becomes a lot more interesting, because you're able to let yourself play around a lot more because you have a reason to do it.
Yep.
And
I think it's hard as well when you ask that question to get outside of yourself and imagine yourself in that position of like, okay, $1 billion. Wow, okay, now all my bills are paid. Like everything, you don't have to worry about it. It's pretty hard to even put yourself in that. Like you might just chill out for a couple of days or like a month and be like, hell yeah, because I've been stressed.
and I'd still be
I've been like
anxious.
redlining forever.
Yeah.
And then you'd
Yeah.
have the sort of the opportunity to take a breath. Like, all right, now what?
Yeah.
What to do now? Like it's an interesting sort of little thought experiment.
Absolutely. Well, and the answer is like you probably are still anxious once you have $1 billion.
Yeah.
And in some ways, you're actually a lot more anxious because you're like, okay, shit, now I have no excuses. Now like I really can't procrastinate because I have this crazy amount of privilege and opportunity. And if you want to make a movie, you could just do it right now. You could just start tomorrow to start emailing people. And and I think the really strange part about that question is like, once you when you think of yourself with $1 billion, you start thinking about all the things you want to do. You often don't need $1 billion to get started. You need like $10, or you just need to or $1 billion actually wouldn't help you. It would just be like figuring out like how do you, stick to a schedule and stay disciplined and stuff. Which is again very hard. Iranian is asking if he could share his Instagram. He said he's got to change a couple things. Can he share his Instagram
Got a page
in the
where I
chat?
can check your stuff out. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Iranian. Catch that, Rachel? Let's have a look. I'm going to have to head off soon. Iranian. Where is it?
Here. Still got to change a couple things on my Insta because it's still got some personal info. Also, IDK about advertising on someone else's stream.
Oh, that's not
Oh,
my
yeah,
art.
if,
Okay, well, give us your art.
Oh yeah, Yeah. Yeah.
Just
If
your
you
name,
want
and I'll
your
throw it up there.
yeah. If you don't feel comfortable, that's fine too. Um, but
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, so
the whole
I'll
point
just,
of all this stuff is like
I've just got to, yeah, if you don't want to, don't,
yeah,
don't do it, but yeah, if I can help.
find another way.
But this doesn't mean that it's always going to happen.
Um,
I don't want an influx of fucking Instagram names.
yeah. Yeah, but with all this stuff, I think it's like it's hard to find a career, and like when you look at somebody who's perceived to be further ahead than you, it's like they're probably having as much trouble as you are in some senses, and like for Ben and I, a big reason we met is because we're both like trying to do this content stuff, and it's hard and stressful and difficult to pull off all the time. So just hanging out and talking about it is helpful for us, just to like make the scope of it a little bit more accessible, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah,
Ouroboros, welcome. Great to have you. So I might hang out for another 15. I just got to use the
Yeah,
bathroom quickly.
Emma's playing Minecraft right now, so
Oh, nice.
I have some time. We're gonna watch What We Do in the Shadows tonight.
Oh, what is that? That sounds
excited
horror-esque.
No, well, it's based off a movie from Taiki Waititi about vampires living in New Zealand.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like a funny movie. It's like, what would actual vampires be like? And they're like housemates, and they're like talking about, you know, don't leave victims half drunk because it's it's unsanitary. And if you're gonna
That's
finish a
sick.
victim, you have to finish one before you move on to the next one. And stuff. It's very silly.
That's
And
cool. I like that.
they made a whole TV show about it.
Oh, that'd be cool, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
All right. Well, I might even just wait for Iranian to. No, I can't. If you want to hang out, you're okay for letting that stream, or do you want to bounce?
No, yeah. I can hang out for a bit
Cool.
if you want to. Wait. Yeah, you're gonna end the stream.
No. It's in like I'm just gonna pop out for
Oh,
2
yeah.
seconds, and then I'll come back.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, yeah. I can hang out for a
Cool.
sec. Cool.
I'll be back. Oh,
Yeah.
remember not to take the microphone with you.
Cool.
Just gonna do. Back. I love this pencil, dude. You gotta check out
Yeah, dude.
thingy.
I'm gonna look up your stuff, Iranian. See you in a bit. For a second.
Toodaloo.
Is your I don't want to look up Iranian beauties. I want to look up Iranian. Is your Instagram just Iranian? What's your at? But yeah, with all this stuff, I think it's hard to have a clear and concise idea of what's right and wrong within our career. But I suspect, like I was talking to Marshall Vandriff once about this stuff, and if you watch Strassman, he's the other host of the Strassman podcast, and he was saying that the people that sought out, he's taught thousands of students for decades, and in his experience, the people that like stayed after, they went to extra workshops, they did extra things, they went, watched extra YouTube videos, and essentially just like did extra homework. They were the people that in general tended to succeed more because they were the people that were actually seeking out practice and trying to solve problems and trying to get better genuinely. And the people that like talked about it and maybe signed up for classes but then actually didn't do any work ended up in general being the people that didn't didn't do it as well. But what up, homie?
Okay. Iranian, did we?
I didn't get his at yet.
Oh yeah. Just spell it out. Don't send a link, because I don't think links work when people post them in chat. Only I can post links in chat.
How long are you gonna stream for, you think?
I'm just gonna go for another 15, I reckon.
Sounds good.
Gotta get something to eat. It's almost 2.
Oh yeah, I bought some Flamin' Young earlier.
Oh, hello.
Dude. I'm not a cook. I'm not a great cook, but
No.
it would be cool to make some meat while I'm out there. Arranged.
I'm looking forward to something a little bit less
Okay. Do you eat steak? Do you
fancy.
eat-
I do.
Okay.
I've got some sugar-free jelly in the fridge. It's got my name on it. That's
Dude,
what
I'm
I'm
excited
excited
for you.
about right now. Pineapple
I'm
flavor.
looking at what?
Is it?
Oran. It's OORANJT. Put a heart.
ORNGT. Let's have a look. Got 0 posts.
Hey. Hey.
What, that is you? That top one? My photography. Aha, so it's in the
For
stories.
anyone-
Okay.
Yeah. For anyone that's curious about how Ben and I met, I guess I think it's relevant, is that Ben
Very cool.
had just been posting on Instagram for his entire, he's been posting on Instagram a lot. And then I met him through Proco, and just through that, him posting a lot, we just started hanging out more. But yeah, it's some cool stuff. Orange it. Neat.
Yeah, 'cause I think you were the first contact with Proco. You're the one who reached out.
Yeah. Well,
You're,
I
you're
think
one
with
of the
this
first
stuff, it's
people that I
like,
could talk to about any of this stuff. Because I hadn't talked to
yeah,
many
well,
anyone. Well, not many people.
and and like from a purely like objective perspective, just like looking at this stuff over, like, I guess overhead. You're posting this stuff on your own for years, just like doing what you enjoy, doing it for fun, and
Yeah.
eventually you started to get real traction with it online, just from doing what you cared about.
Yeah.
And then from there, like people started reaching out to you, like Proco and stuff, and you started
Yeah.
making all these connections just from like, figuring out how to make art that people want, trying to like fit into a niche and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
for a lot of people, that's how it works. Like for Proco, even the story that he tells on how he got popular is that he was doing these, like, he had a blog where he did some like PDF drawing tutorials, and the blog got 10,000 people following it. So when he released his first YouTube video, his first video got 10,000 views, and then some of those people had bigger followings and they shared it around. So he, just through goodwill from all those people, they like gave him an extra boost, and then he just kept going. And like for all that kind of stuff, like you just start and you have no idea how it's going to end up, and then cool things start happening just as a result of you doing things online.
Because if you don't do anything, it's guaranteed that nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
So if you do
And it's
something,
likely going to be bad,
yeah,
but you figure out like what's good and what's bad just by experimenting with stuff. Um,
But it's like, what I have such a hard time like giving advice though, because I tend not
yeah,
to,
yeah,
unless it's something very specific. Because it's like my
um,
way of going about it is going to be very different to yours versus anyone's. I can only
yeah, for sure.
share my
Um,
thoughts about where I'm at. So, and full transparency, I'm nowhere near like quote unquote successful. The number is just like, again, I'm not like, the numbers are just the numbers. It's like being rich in Monopoly. It's like, and I'm not even that big on social media compared to others. But it's like, from a business
yeah,
standpoint, from a content standpoint, all that sort of stuff, there's a lot of room to grow, and we're both still trying to figure it out. And it's like,
yeah, yeah,
even having these conversations here is sick. Just like on stream, chatting art, chatting content, like.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And it's like, um, yeah, the goal is to keep doing it for as long as possible and to keep it
Hmm.
sustainable. And um, whether you're watching the stream and you feel like you're just starting out or not, the act of us drawing and painting is the same as it's going to feel as you drawing or painting or somebody way more famous than us or whoever else. Like,
Mm.
the only thing that you really get better at is like understanding um, that concept that it really doesn't matter how many followers you have, it still feels the same.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah,
And it doesn't automatically equal money either. That's what a lot of people don't
yeah, yeah,
understand. So I didn't make my first dollar. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. I think I made the equivalent of like $50 US just off of like Instagram through donations when I was at like 170K. So it just doesn't
yeah.
equate to like, it surprised me how many people thought that with a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and it's like you could do a whole course or something, or you release a book and you might have a few 100,000 followers, but um, like you might sell 100 books or something for $30, which might sound like a lot, but if you put all this effort into it over a few years, it breaks down to way less than minimum wage.
Mm.
Um, and um, yeah, it's straight. Yeah, with the advice thing, I agree. I think it's generally bad to, or it's like it's a really slippery slope to give advice to people in that way, and
Yeah.
so much of it is just figuring it out along, as you go along your path and stuff, and um, most things aren't going to work, and eventually some things do, and
Because it feels like an easy knee jerk reaction to be like, yep, do this, because it worked
yeah,
for me, but it doesn't. I've really got to stump myself like, no,
yeah,
really think about
yeah,
what. Yeah, she's fucking it. But
um,
wasn't it even like Rick Rubin that said like advice is kind of bullshit to a certain degree?
yeah, for sure, yeah,
Whether I agree
definitely,
with that 100%, I don't know. But it's an interesting thought.
yeah. I would say that in general, like people in general, for me at least, there's and I think a lot of people could attest to this, but um, there's an impulse to want to wait and ask for permission from other people. Like,
Hmm.
um, am I, am I good enough? Have I done enough figure drawing classes? Have I done enough painting classes to start making illustrations or to start teaching or doing any of that kind of stuff? And in general, the answer is like, if you ask the people that are probably the best teachers, they will probably tell you that you need to take more classes because they're generally very good artists, and there's no like it's always a good idea. I shouldn't say the best teachers won't always say that, but a lot of like some people might say that you should be in class for a long time, or you should wait or something. But creativity is so nebulous and so difficult to quantify that
Mm.
um, there's really no excuse not to keep taking classes. And at a certain point, you have to kind of decide that you are ready to start making stuff. Which
I
is,
think
it's
that's one
completely
thing that
different on the person.
I do regret, well, not regret, but that wish I did more of, is actually starting to think about what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like what do I actually, because it got to a point where, okay, my fundamentals were at a stage where I can kind of like, all right, I can draw more or less what I want and have it look okay, or good enough where it looks like the thing that I want it to. But then the question started. I was like, "Fuck! All right, now what do I want to actually draw?" Like I spent all this time just studying. What is it that and that's when I started to do the stylized stuff. Because I was like, "That's what I really want to do. Just like create characters and have fun with it and da 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 da."
Yeah,
It
definitely.
wasn't
And
until that
like
sort of shit. Okay, I'm at an okay point now where I can like draw realistic stuff.
yeah,
Now what?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, and in general, I think people have the impulse to try and they try to wait, and people will tell you online like you have to do more studies, you have to always do more figure drawing and stuff, which is true from a certain degree, but also like you need to be able to interpret things and say things that, like, again, just from a sustainability perspective, like, it's going to get boring after a while doing master studies, like, or it, maybe not, depending on who you are. Maybe that's really what you want to do, but like kind of making the stake in the sand and just being like, this person that I really trust and admire is wrong about what's right and wrong for me, and being able to, you know, say that your word is as valuable as someone else's word, I think is actually most of the work of being an artist or a creative person professionally, is to be like, I should make a board game, or I should, I've been guilty of it before. I remember like 5 or 6 years ago, I was talking to Stan about Proco. I was talking to him about like, oh yeah, like it's too late to start a YouTube channel, right? And he's like, no, it's not. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever, man. You have a million subscribers.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, easy for you to say. And then he like, I didn't, and then a bunch of people popped off, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. It's
Yeah.
like he grew a bunch, a bunch of other people grew a bunch. Um, yeah, there are a couple of people asking for portfolio reviews.
Let's have a look. Sorry, I've been neglecting chat.
you're-
Just been chatting to Christian. That's fine.
No, it's
right?
okay.
That's actually.
Yeah.
Iranian. Oh, my pleasure. No, thank you so much for the support. Dylan, how you doing, my friend? Morgan constricted. See, this is what happens. You pull up one, you got to pull them all up. All right, Morgan, last one. I'll pull up your put the name of your Instagram on there, and I'll do it for you. Celador, I have an online portfolio as well. Okay, look, see, this is.
All right.
Let's have a look. Let's do. It could be a segment though. Like let's.
Yeah.
Big ZIE. Let's test it.
In art, like I think in general, like portfolio views are really good, but also they're dangerous in a sense, I think.
Yeah.
I think purely from the perspective of like, if you really respect somebody and you're asking for their time, and then they tell you something you don't want to do, like if somebody told me like, oh, to become a better artist, you have to go run a marathon a day, I'd be really bummed out, because it's like, oh, that's the way to become a really good artist, is I have to run a lot. I'd I don't want to fucking do that.
Yeah.
Then I would stop doing art. Which I'm doing a gross comparison, but I guess it's a word of caution against portfolio reviews.
Yeah. So we got more. So this is Morgan.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, did Morgan share his
Yep.
at? Oh.
I'm loving this style. Very comic booky. Got the black and the reds, beautiful.
Oh, okay, I see it.
Nice one. Big ZIE. Give him some support.
Yeah.
Barbarian inked. Very cool. That's something I want to get into is, yeah, the inks. I bought a brush pen the other day.
Dude, hell yeah.
Trying to channel the Carl Kopinski.
Dude, yeah, I've been spending so much time around Ryan, and because of that, I'm just like, I love the way he draws. It's just like fun to watch.
Yeah. Like that's as far as I've gotten with the brush pen. I was too scared to go any further with it. But
all right, sorry, could you show that again? Oh, here, wait,
oh no, sorry, I'm showing it on stream here. I'll show it to you as well.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, sick. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, so that's as far as I got. Traditional scares the shit out of me. But it's like
Let's
a good
do some scary chart. Yeah, I'm down to do some traditional while I'm out there with you if you want.
Dude, when you're down here, let's carve out some time. I can traditional it up.
Draw, dude.
Yeah, I'll contact someone as well for figure drawing that I've got in mind. We'll do some figure drawing stuff. Get that going.
Yeah.
Brush pens are so much fun. I recommend the Pentel sign pens and Zebra brush pens. Nice. That's another thing as well with the traditional. That's like a whole like rabbit hole of just.
It's very easy to overspend on stuff too.
That's why I like doing it. Like I'll just get the cheapest brush pen. I don't care if I can't make that look half decent. Then I think I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah. The other ones that are really interesting are the. One sec. Let me find my brand.
Yeah, dude.
The Posca markers. They're pretty cool.
What was that one?
You can smudge them. The Posca. Here, I'll show them on.
Oh, because they're like paint, right?
Yeah. They're I think they're pretty much acrylic paint. They're easy to smudge, so they're pretty cool. But,
yeah, I think we got some here. Like up at this place called Office Works here. I thought I saw those ones. Yeah, dude. I reckon
they're one of the staples.
I think that's the equivalent Staples and Office Works over here.
Which?
Like,
yeah.
Burger
Makes sense.
King.
I've never heard of Office Works.
Do you like Burger King?
I do, yeah.
We've got to try Hungry Jack's. Try the Australian version.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I suspect it's pretty identical in terms of like what, like dietary, all that kind of stuff is pretty samey to what's up
terrible for you.
But, yeah.
Absolutely terrible for you.
But it's great. I mean, it's very yummy. Yeah.
So good. I reckon I'll call it a day. I'm getting hungry, man. This is
cool. Sounds good.
This is fun having you pop on.
Appreciate having me on. Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me.
I'll hang out with chat for another couple of minutes. But
cool.
Yeah, thank you, Christian, everyone, for popping in. We'll do more of these.
Cool. Bye, guys.
Catch you later, dude. All right, chat. That was fun. Instead of just me talking the whole time. Made the time absolutely fly by. And yeah, now we've got like a little mech pencil sketch sort of thing going, which I'm pretty happy with. It was like a good little start. Hungry Jack's chips slap. They do. You got a Hungry Jack's commercial while watching NBA. I have my mind blown. Whoa. How's that? They're listening to you. Morgan, what the fuck is a Super Duper Bursty? Yeah, I don't know about this new shit. I remember they had the sticky date puddings at Hungry Jack's, and that was the best stuff. Oh, music's gone. Okay, we're back. All right, so before we head off, any last questions? I'm looking at Instagram, I'm looking at YouTube chat before we call it a day. This was fun, something a little bit different. I reckon we'll explore the character next time, or not, I don't know. Wam Vitor, is Clip Studio better than Photoshop for digital drawings? I don't know about better, it's different. I do like the brush engine. Like, this looks pretty legit from a like pencil drawing standpoint. I'm very happy with the result of just trying this out today. Catch you later, Carl. I appreciate you. You have a good night. Are you trying to move away from Photoshop? No, I'm just trying, not necessarily move away, just explore other options that I've seen other artists use. What's your thoughts on Critter? I reckon it's fantastic. I reckon it's very cool. Morgan, the most influential artist for you personally? Oh, it's hard to say one. It's like you've got JC Leyendecker, you've got here Norman Rockwell. What a coincidence. Right here. You got Jin Kim from Disney, so there's a whole bunch of them. I mention them in my YouTube videos a lot. And before we say goodbye and part ways, my latest project that I'm working on here, the Plain Jane sculpt. She is going to be dropping soon. I don't have an exact release date, but if you want to be one of the first to know when she's going to be available, right here, your own personal Plain Jane study tool. Comes with a bunch of other stuff as well. So that's one promo thing before we head off. Second, beneblin.com. Blin.com, where you can get everything me. So blogs and stuff. We've also got the Stylized character tutorial if you want to dive a little bit deeper. It's 8 hours, 10 chapters of learning how I drew this guy. It comes with not only the chapters recorded, but it also comes with 3D models here. So you can sort of turn it around. It's also just got photos of the 3D models so you can study and try and understand stuff in 3D. Because thinking in 3D is one of the key things that I do when I'm drawing this stuff. And a 40-page field guide. So if you like drawing, if you like watching and reading at the same time, you've got that there as well. So the guys on Instagram, check out the link in the description or in the bio. You people on YouTube, you got the links in the description. Also, we've got the Filthy plugin that I used with this, the Photoshop Filthy plugin, which helped me get this result here. It's something that I wish Photoshop made, but they didn't, so we made it. Me and my good friend Francis. It fills in. Whoa, 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 whoa. Fills in those shapes automatically. All right, so if you want to check that out, that's on the website as well. And speaking of, Christian and I had a good little chat, touched on a couple of businessy content creation things. If you like more of that kind of stuff, we have Make Now, Think Later, a podcast with me and my good friend Francis, where I go through the real numbers, the thoughts, the techniques, the tips, the tricks, everything that I'm learning as I'm going, trying to navigate the the social media landscape as an artist and content creator, I guess you could say. Those two words make me cringe, but I don't know how else to say what I do. So yeah. So any last little questions, not little questions, just questions before we head off, I would be more than happy to answer. Once upon a line, hey, big fan, how can I ask you to check out my Insta? I'm about to head off now, sorry. My apologies, but thank you for popping in. All right, appreciate you, everyone. Oh, I'm bloody hungry. All that talk of Hungry Jacks. Catch you later, Morgan. Oranian. Celador. Thank you. Erica, great to have you. Okay. With that, I will catch you in the next one. See ya. Awkward, because I've got to find how to turn off the stream. I've got too many windows open. Fuck. Awkward. All right. Toodaloo.